Recording in progress.
Here we go. Everybody leave me.
In the joke,
Nobody
John.
push the black button, Travis.
Where'd he go?
He joked about it. Okay, we need to dunk on him so hard when he gets back.
I'm not letting him in.
Oh man.
Just do the whole
Sean.
Message him in Discord like, oh, sorry, you can't make it, bro. Get you on the next one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you should just put up a message saying, "Oh, sorry, meeting is done."
I'm waiting for him to show back up.
Yeah, that's why I don't jokingly leave, because
Yeah, you might not be able to get
I might not be able to get back in. All right, who's ready for the Fat Cleric and Chainmail with a -1 dex mod, so stealth will be impossible?
I just messaged him in the waiting room. Sorry, man, we're playing without you. Just got him sitting there.
Malcolm kicked me out. Hold on, I know what to send him for that.
I might get a lot of shit for that.
So I was making the joke. Everybody leave me.
Damn, that was a quick game.
My brain.
Yeah, dude, that game was fun, dude.
That was a quick ass game.
While I was
All right,
That was
so
an accident.
John, are you
except for
okay
Tempe
with
wasn't
losing
there.
another character?
Yeah.
This is why you
course.
don't drink in D&D.
Can't believe Tempe died like that quick.
Man, yeah, fireball that
No.
The mind player came back, dragged him into the portal.
The brain
Damn
got him.
Well, it's good to have you guys all back. Excited to play with you all. This being like kind of like the last game of the year. So cheers to the game, to our last Waterdeep game before we go into next month. Not too much to recap. I think we all kind of know where we're at, even though it's been a while since we played.
We're still in the mind flare.
We are in the you are in the Zentrum hide, or the Xanather hideout. Sorry, getting those two different gangs mixed up. There is kind of a gang war going on in Waterdeep. So far, we're at our 4th session, and this entire game so far has taken place in one night. You guys met each other a few hours ago, and have since been spending these hours looking for, which you have finally found, Floon, who you were hired by Volo, the author, the up-and-coming author here in Waterdeep, who's waiting for you back at the Yawning Portal. You did end up destroying the Xanather, a wizard apprentice half-orc who had Floon in his custody or in his clutches. The mind flayer, or the strange creature with the tentacle-like face, kind of purplish translucent skin, has left and gone into a portal, taking Machina with him, or with it. Now the party sits planning how to get out of here, how to work their way back. Do they go back which they came and have to deal with that strange beholder-like creature, or do they try another route just to find, like, a manhole cover and an escape? Anything anybody wants to add to that before we get started? Anything that you think is pertinent?
I think Floon is unconscious but stable still, because we took the 1 hour and then Demetria burned her last spell slot to heal Elric, so we're all up except for Floon, but he has been stabilized.
Or are we waiting for Demetria to wake up because she's still?
Yeah, I'm just bandaging up, and I'm just like.
I know you guys had to roll like hours worth.
Yeah, it was Demetria was at 1 hour, Elric was at 2. So at the end of the 1 hour, Demetria woke up, or became unconscious, and then cast Cure Wounds on Elric, which got him up an hour earlier than he would have otherwise. And I believe in that same hour, we took like a short rest. I know Burfoot rolled hit die for the short rest.
Yeah,
we're waiting for Demetria.
All right, I wasn't able to because I didn't get that hour, right?
Yeah, you had rolled a 2 and I had rolled a 1. So I popped up an hour before you, but then I Healy handed you Bahamut's Grace.
During that hour, Eldricon would have walked to Amnon, kind of taken him aside and said, "This might be a perfect opportunity for your book, the entries into your book."
I do not know if my book's going to be very much use to us for very long.
Oh, I'm just thinking maybe the unconscious party members. You know, I know you needed to gather, some samples. We are in secret corner.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, I got it.
He's just gonna let that be, and the only thing that Eldricon would be interested in, other than getting that done, or at least communicating that to Amnon, would be he's never seen a being of the power that this mind flayer has just displayed. So he's trying to study the portal that he used, or anything around the throne room that would clue him in to gain access to this kind of power. Above board, I know there's no way because it's a mind flayer, but just Eldricon himself would be
trying to find it.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned last game, it not have been so Eldricon would have found out, but because I know, because Elric was down when it happened. I have a feeling someone saw it, but I think I mentioned there's the symbol on the stick with the little circle, and that kind of looks like the beholder, and then there's a notch where something would be inserted, almost like a magical key. Mm-hmm. So I think Eldricon knows there's some kind of magical teleportation thing at play that locks into where that little sigil is, and clearly without having it, it's a one way. There's really no way to get to where he is.
I had copied down that symbol just for later purposes, but that's it.
All right, so if we pick up with the party down there in that little room there in the sewers, preparing to make their way. Remember, you had found there was either working your way back, but you had also found a little side compartment, a little tunnel that had been tunneled through, where the cobblestone order had broken apart. There was a way to crawl through to get to, and when you look through, it leads to the open area where you could head back from which you came, and then to the left was that dark area where you saw the were-rat creature, or the eyes in the dark. So what's the approach here? What's the party decide to do? Are they waiting another hour? Is because Elric is still down, correct? And then Dimitri's up. Elric is still. Yeah,
Dimitri. As soon as Dimitria gets up, she's sitting up, kind of panicked, trying to get her mind back in order. And if she sees Elric lying down, still collapsed on the ground, she will go over and she will do the cure wounds on him, which I rolled for last game.
Nice. And I will run over to Dimitria just to make sure that she's not falling over or anything.
And if I recall, you all were saying, you were going to kind of get the hell out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think that was the plan last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So then, I guess more so what I'd like to know from the group is the plan of describe their course of action, or at least how they plan to make it out of the sewers.
Look, whoever has this place as an HQ's got to have a hidey hole out the back. These kinds of guys, there's always a way to escape out of the room, right?
What about that ladder we
Michael
saw
shakes his head agreeing.
by the beholder?
Do we want to go back and try and
go up that ladder?
That would be risking going back to where the beholder was guarding.
Oh, with the
and can we try and we've already canvassed the room kind of, but Demetria just woke up. Can I try and see, where, knock on some wood, see if there's a secret getaway?
The hidey hole you're speaking of, this broken wall of rubble, is where the supposed bandits left.
Because there was a room and there were three little little alcoves, if you want to call them. One of those, and they had doors, and so one of those probably used for almost used like a throwaway closet. You found an area where the wall had broken down, and that is where the little goblins were squatting.
Right.
And staying. They are no longer there. And so that's the way that leads out into that hall, one of the halls that you did come back through. And that's what I was explaining, is that is one way out. Otherwise you kind of work your way systematically back through where the thing came out of the shitter, through the long hall, back up to where the goblins, and essentially the little hole takes you back out to the first, I guess, section of Exanathar's Guild where there was a three pathway split, and then there was that doorway. That's where remember where there were the slits and the holes were in the wall?
Yeah.
So you guys are in pretty much the hole that leads out. You are basically have now come full circle. You're in the room where the other room, the other goblins on the other side would have been able to look out and see you. But remember, they were snoring.
Oh yeah.
At the time, they were sleeping.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
Hey, Malcolm,
Kind of been scrambled a bit. I'll follow whoever.
can we say that since
Yeah.
we've been here for a few hours, can I say I completed my ritual for my familiar?
How you have not been camping? You've been camping for a few hours. Are we going?
Have we?
We've been
I
on vacation for
thought
1
we
hour.
I thought we
was
did
1 hour.
1
I
hour.
think it's-
It was 1 hour. Oh,
More
okay,
than an
never mind.
hour.
I can't do it.
You will risk.
But a ritual is
Xanathar.
10 minutes. Ritual casting.
Yeah,
is-
the risk
Yeah,
of casting.
if
I
you're
thought it was
doing
an hour for
find
familiar.
familiar specifically is an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
If you were, I'm gonna say you have not cast that, because in the last game where we did a lot of role playing at the end,
Yeah.
and Find Familiar was not one of the things you were doing at that time.
You're helping people out right now.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Stabilize.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I
Yeah,
thought we were here
they're
for much
being a
longer
doctor.
time.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
No,
we've
that's
literally
all.
just been here a little over an hour.
Hour. Yeah. Then
Just
all
decided
I've been
on
doing
what
is
to
helping
do next.
people and stuff like that. That's fine.
So what about where that were-rat went? We saw that were-rat. Should we just? You think there's something there?
a new
quick
path
access.
a new path is better than small beholder.
Well, then we could just follow
What
where
if
we
the
saw
new
that
path
were-rat.
leads to a large beholder? Guys, I really do not want to die in the sewers tonight.
Yeah, and I'm with you.
I mean, you all are barely standing. That's
I'm
correct.
barely up right now, so
Well,
whatever.
listen, if this rat is running away from somewhere, I doubt he's going to run towards a beholder, right?
Yeah, true.
I mean, seriously, let's just take a look.
I think it's worth it if we don't want to. I figure the were-rat would go in a direction where it's not trying to get into danger, maybe.
Well,
If you run into a were-rat, you can make friends with him, but
Yes.
hey,
So
less time we spend down here, the better.
were-rat path
Fair
is
enough.
potentially danger. Path with small beholder is absolute.
Definite danger.
Yeah. Thor,
Yeah.
what if, as we're walking down this hallway, you project an image in front of us, so that way, if there is anything there, we can still back up?
I would utilize those services if you so require.
I think that'd be a good buffer, so that way, if there is anything there that we have to worry about, maybe we can get the jump on them.
Okay. I create Kenku.
Perfect.
Who's gonna carry our unconscious buddy?
I will get it. I'll carry it.
Are you sure, Doc? Because I can, I might not be able to do much right now, but I can definitely call somebody.
Demetria, you were down. I am a doctor, and I wasn't able to do shit. All right? Now, that is going to stay with me for a while, but let me help in any way I can. You go ahead, and I will stay behind your shield.
Barefoot, what is your hefty companion's name?
From.
He
And
looks
by the
pretty
way,
strong.
while you guys were having that conversation, Barefoot was kind of like flexing and being like,
Demetria.
Yeah, she's like, no. And then she'll be like, oh, his name was Grom.
He seems fairly strong.
I'll ask him in Draconic if he'd be willing. We have a consent only relationship. So let me discuss with Grom. I don't tell
What are
him
you asking Grom to do?
See if he can help carry. Like maybe they can put like half of and hold. I don't know. I don't know if he's big enough. Yeah.
So in terms of putting like Floon on carrying him, or
yeah, I'm assuming
that's a great idea.
Well, I'm torn because I remember you saying he was really small.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the size of a regular.
Yeah, his size is like. Let me look it up exactly.
He wasn't
But
like a regular. Like remember I used the Draken.
Yeah, and then after that we
dog.
looked it up, and he is close to that. So let me look at.
So is he more of a dog, an actual hound? But and that's the thing. Maybe he's a small. Maybe he's like a Chihuahua. But you got to just kind of stay consistent and stick to what you saw.
Oh yeah,
as, I think
because I gotta give you the exact size. So let me look it up.
I mean, who am I carrying? I can carry somebody.
Yeah, I don't think you guys need him to carry. It's not
Tempe's
a
standing
big
there with
deal.
his
I just
arms
want
out
for
like
the
anybody?
future.
Yeah,
future
I'm like,
references to
Tempe-
wanna be
Tempe doesn't
consistent
say
with that.
anything. Tempe's completely quiet, but he has his arms out. Like,
Are you unscathed? Like you're not.
So
anything with
Tempe,
damage
I know he
no, I
doesn't
was never
speak.
touched.
I know he
Damn,
doesn't
right?
speak, Sean, but you can role play what he's doing.
He speaks, no, yeah, he speaks a little. He kind of like grunts towards like Demetria and Ravi, and he's like, he puts his arms up. He's like, I can do it.
Demetria
Like, that's the level
pulls.
that he speaks, right? He's just like, I can do it.
Got it.
Demetria pulls her shield out like off her back and kind of make sure that it's strapped onto her arm on one arm, and then she just puts the other one around Tempe and like leans against him because she's still at just one because she did not cure wounds herself. She just came up.
Oh wait, I was holding up Demetria. That's right.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah. So then
Yeah,
I'll
Sarah,
just,
you want to hold
I'm just
someone
gonna
here?
Yeah.
Amnon's just gonna pick him up, dude. And I'm gonna be like, if we get into trouble, I will put him down and I will blast him.
Put him down softly, please.
A few bones won't work. He's fine.
So we'll,
sounded more and more like a doctor.
Yeah.
so
Western
we'll
doctor.
kind of cut to the group kind of making their way through the exit hole there into the hall with Eldricon creating that image of the Kinku that begins to walk down the hall ahead of you. And who will make the survival check with help from the party, but who will make the check that will try to lead you out of here?
Not me.
Who's good at survival?
Burfoot.
Yeah.
The ranger is up.
Yes,
yeah, Burfoot.
I'm looking it up right now for the size. Yeah, his size is small, but when you look it up, it's like confusing. So long, it's like they're giving me like stats.
Just tell me this. I don't care about the rule book. I actually just care what Burfoot, because I
okay.
know Barefoot is small. Does he sit on her shoulder, or does she ride on top of this thing?
No,
Like,
yeah, he's not like a pseudo dragon. Yeah, like she could technically, because she's so small,
okay.
like ride on him. I'm assuming he's like a mastiff size, like a
Yeah,
big dog.
probably
Yeah.
little.
Yeah,
So
and he
I
grows
don't
to
think-
large size at 15.
Yeah. So he's not. I don't think he's big enough to like carry a human being.
Yeah.
But definitely to get in a little scrapper to chew on people and stuff. Absolutely big kind of hound-sized dog. So it kind of looks like a little mini horse or mule for her.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So he's like mastiff Great Dane size right now.
Got it.
we're gonna stick with that. And yeah, you guys want me to roll a survival check? I have new dice. Well, they're
And you
they're
will get
old.
advantage from the help that one of your party members is aiding, since you are taking kind of the lead through the sewers.
I'll be there with Burfoot.
I like it.
Okay.
And it's a check,
Makes
right?
sense.
It will be a check.
Okay. Oh yeah, I am good at that. Okay, so with advantage, 18. Oh yeah, 23 with advantage.
Okay. And so the party begins to venture out into the darkness of a new part of the sewers, being very aware, being very cautious, being perceptive, eyes open, trying to be as stealthy as possible, hoping to not have to encounter the creature that you saw in those halls before. The one thing I think that Eldricon does recall is that the creature seemed to see him as well, and it turned away. So maybe that's reassuring that it wasn't out for blood, at least now, or at least at that time. As the party travels, use this moment to kind of move away from them momentarily to something happening elsewhere. Elsewhere, maybe in this sewer system. We open on a location that's dark, not quite as damp. This room is filled with a number of little knickknacks and like something you would find in an oddball kind of museum. Ears, strange creatures that are taxidermied, potions and strange weapons or ancient weapons that are hung up on the walls. Some things that look like they would be extremely valuable. Other things you would wonder why they were next to the things of great value. And as we pass over all these things, on one of the tables is a large fishbowl with a goldfish kind of floating around inside of it. And we hear a figure kind of dragging heavy some metal into the room, and then it walks to the center and it stands before a very dark opening. And it says, in common, I brought you this. And kind of like you see its long purple fingers. You know, thought maybe you'd want it for your collection. And suddenly in that darkness, a large round eye kind of like opens up and looks over whatever has there on the ground. He goes, what am I going to do with that? And then suddenly other little eyes boop, 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 begin to appear in the dark around. You still can't see quite what he is. He goes, I got no use for that. Do what you will with him. Fair enough. I might have some use. And then right as the creature is about to leave, the eye looks and goes, what is that? In your hand. Give it to me. Give it now. And then he hands over, you see the long finger handing over, and this little eye stalk coming down to look at it. And it's just a kind of crumpled, gosh, it's I'm really forgetting.
Monocle?
Monocle, a little crumpled
No!
monocle. And we'll kind of crash to black and leave that scene. Now, when we go back to our party, we come in on, as slowly but surely, a large, heavy sewer grate is pushed to the side as they all begin to one by one come up from the sewers. It's still early morning now here in Waterdeep, so you can see there in the dock ward off towards the sea, you can see the sun, just the sun beginning to break the horizon line. So it's still dark, but there's a little bit of that faint glow in the distance that's coming in as the magical, or in this area, the lamp street lights are still out. You all know your way enough to make your way back to the yawning portal, to where you hope that now in this wee hours of the morning, Volo is still waiting. Is there anything else you always want to do? Or do we just head straight there? Because you guys did make it through the sewers with no trouble.
Yay! 3 cheers. Let's go.
I think it's time for a beer. No,
a long rest awaits. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Oh, yeah.
seriously. Let's go to the bar. I sent out a letter before we left. Let's see if somebody else has showed up. Elder Khan, maybe that final member showed up.
And there's also whatever little guy's house said he was going to pay us as well for finding.
Say it
I
again?
second that.
The other
Above
noble.
board,
The other
whatever
noble.
Volo might be waiting for us, right?
The
There was
first
another noble.
guy, not Volo, but
What's his name?
freaking guy.
Oh, I have a new notebook. I gotta go to the old. Hold on.
Freaking guy. Not the little goblin dude. Not the little gnome dude.
No,
Pretty noble boy.
Who's
Oh,
the
the guy
son
Yes.
of the son of the former?
Oh, Rainer.
Oh, because he got
Raynar.
Raynar, yes.
Raynar.
Bloom's
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah. He didn't. Did he offer cash to you guys?
He just said that he can maybe give us something, or
He-
or
yeah,
give us a
Raynar, yeah.
reward.
Raynar
You-
has
you're-
reward money.
He's
Raynar
like,
has
you-
reward money.
He has what money?
According to my notes, Raynar has reward money, and then I did 3 money symbols. So
Okay.
He specifically offered us each a legendary item within.
Oh. So he has
That's
to
Raynar.
go back and watch that entire
I
episode.
see
Like,
it in
no,
my
I
notes.
didn't.
shit.
So,
No, I didn't.
Check the notes. Check the
Uh,
notes.
But so yes, Raynar has. Remember, Raynar left with the city guard, so Raynar would not be. You'd have to do a little work to find Raynar. But in terms of here now, yes, you would be arriving there back in the Yawning Portal. A very different environment than what it was before. Whereas now it's the wee hours of the morning, and while the place is 24 hours, it never closes. It's it's a little depressing now. It's those folks that are still sitting there drinking, had nowhere to go. Maybe those fighters that are
the career alcoholics.
Yeah,
the old dudes at the bar. You could just say me, Malcolm. It's okay.
No.
It's all right.
The bar is packed up
right.
and gone home, and Volo's sitting by the fire near the portal itself, and the bartender kind of gives you guys a nod as you come in, remembering you.
Demetria lifts her hand that's like around Tempe's shoulder, and she gestures for 2 drinks. 2 drinks.
He begins to pour, and Volo's kind of
more.
snoring. And then there, like I said, as you do go in, out of the few folks that are in this 3-story place, there is another gentleman that I believe definitely stands out to Amnon.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
What do you do?
All right. Dimitri, let's just settle down. He's here. Check Arthur.
Amnon, it's been too long.
Oh, much too long. How are you, friend?
I'm doing quite well, but I didn't think I was that late.
We ran into a bit of trouble. I need your help. Please take a look at this gentleman, and my friend Dimitri needs a little bit of help. We ran into a mind flayer.
All right, I'll see what miracles Marduk can perform.
Thank you, my friend. How are you?
Alright, so gonna cast. God damn it.
The sounds of navigating a spell list.
My phone's frozen.
Dimitri, this is my friend Jack Arthur. I may be a surgeon doctor, but he is a healer.
Yeah. Hi. How's it going? Yeah. 2 pints. 2 pints. Like checking with the bartender.
Dimitri, don't be a dick. Get us all a beer.
And so Jakartha is about to provide some aid to Floon, I guess, to get him awake.
Yeah, I could use some help too if you're offering.
Yeah, I'm casting Prayer of Healing, so that's how many people?
I'm gonna go to the bar and grab some drinks.
How's it going tonight? So yeah, the gentleman behind the bar sees you, Tempe. I ask you what you. I don't know how you order since you don't really speak to us, so you just gotta.
I go 6 drinks, please.
You should have done what you did in my campaign. I was so confused when you did that first.
That'll be 12 points of healing for up to 6 creatures.
Yes.
Counts it as a jug, so 1 gold piece.
Wait, no, you have your drink coin. Remember, we all got drink tokens.
Oh yeah, you do have your drink tokens. He sees the token, he's like, yes, you saved my arse tonight.
I carry all 6 back like super elegantly, like I've been serving my entire life.
Malcolm, is it Durnan? Is he or is he home?
It's Durnan.
Eldricon will walk up and just hand over his drink ticket and be like, absinthe, as always.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wait. Robbie can't drink, can he?
Tempe, can you
Nope.
make
Fantasy world.
I'm going to give Robbie the drink, and then I'm going to look at Demetria and kind of like put my arm around them and ask her if it's okay.
It's
I'm going to slide him back over to Robbie, but I'm going to look at him.
Tempe, I don't want one.
Durnan,
okay, then if he doesn't take it, I'm going to slide one in front of me, and the other one I'm going to give to Demetria. So we both are going to.
Yeah, Demetria grabs it as a total bro, like sloshing big cheers with Tempe, and then now she's chugging breakfast time.
I don't chug. I elegantly drink it in one shot. Just super. I don't chug though. There's nothing falling down my face like a dwarf or nothing like that. I'm not Demetria.
No, Demetria chugging. chugging.
No, I'm an elegant dude. I'm very, very tasteful. You know,
Pinky. So you're like metro chugging.
Yeah, metro chugging. I'm metro chugging. 1000%.
Very elegant. Yeah. After Eldricon says that, Burfoot's gonna literally, with her cute, fluffy ass hand, do the same thing and say, "Absinthe as always."
Durnan kind of raises an eyebrow, like, "Really?" Kind of strokes his beard, pours the 3 green shots, favorite. And as he does, he takes this little strange little powder, like, and kind of sprinkles it over too, and it kind of makes a little puff, kind of like pops for a quick second and fizzles out, and then he takes one as well. Cheers. To the adventure. Yes.
No, because if Tempe got 6 drinks and those two are having absinthe, Demetria's having a second. Demetria, one side is immediately grabbing another one.
Well,
like a quick check with Eldritch
I
Moment.
slid 3 drinks in front of Demetria.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
That's what I heard. That's what I was like, and that's what I thought was happening. Yeah. So.
Okay.
And so he looks at you all and he goes, "Here's to the party that definitely smells like they've been on an adventure this evening."
Alex gonna slam down his beer and be like, "All right, drinking contest. Let's go."
Drinking contest. Are you sure? Are you sure I don't have any spell slots left for you, man? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Tempe's 100% down for a drinking contest.
Oh no, yeah. Demetria's down. Demetria's like, if you're
we're
going,
all sitting at the table because we're gonna die tonight.
You know, all he can do is get beaten up by everybody else.
Doctor, you'll just help me get up, right? I trust you. I'll start drinking.
And I look over at Dimitri. I'm like, I'm not helping him.
I take it Floon is sitting there kind of recovering.
They just plopped an unconscious body.
Yeah, did you guys? I never heard.
We don't care. We all started drinking. We don't give a shit
the prayer
about
of healing.
This guy's just like he's like making at Bernie's, just like hanging over.
sat him down in the chair. They angled him in the chair. They like.
We're like playing beer pong and shit.
Suddenly, what's so funny? You guys all came in, start drinking, said nothing to Volo. So you hear a and it goes. My friend is he dead?
No, he's unconscious.
Oh, thank God. Oh well, I appreciate you all. Could have told me you had him back here. He sits down and he starts trying to like shake him, and he starts pinching his buddy's cheeks, and he's like, "Oh well, I hope he's not in a coma or anything." Or you sure? Yes. And he kind of like whiffs. He puts his like. Tries to kind of like tries to put his hand against his nose to see if he's breathing. He's like, "Oh, I think he's okay."
I'm gonna walk over, put my arm around him, and just like kneel down and look. I'm like, "He'll be okay. Don't worry." And I'm gonna pat him on the back. I'm like, "We have a healer, and I'm here too. He's okay."
I'm gonna pat him on the back and do a cure wounds just to wake him up.
So he comes to the young man. Oh God. Oh, no, don't kick me in the face again. Oh.
I didn't kick you in the face.
He was under attack. How you doing? You okay? How many fingers am I holding up?
2.
All right.
Tempe,
slowly his black eye is starting to heal.
Yeah.
Tempe looks at Elric, slams his glass on the table and chugs it. And then puts the empty glass down on the table.
I'll do the same.
Teacher is there. Let's go.
The 2 friends are embracing while everyone is just drinking.
Teacher's like, yeah, happy for you, man.
Burfit's definitely going over to Floon, being like, well, like with her fluffy, again, super cute hand, like, where's my money, bitch?
What?
Not to Floon, sorry, to his buddy.
And to Volo.
The little bunny paw? The little bunny paw comes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
Well, yes, I was going to get to that. Okay, don't be so
She squints at him like,
Yes, well, listen, about that. I am good for the money, the other 100, it was 100 gold coins I owe you, but I really appreciate it. But I must confess, I have few coins to spare. Please, wait, hear me out, don't get angry.
She's already raging and already itty. Like she's like literally warming the area around her with rage.
I'm waiting on my royalties from my last book, but I do have something for you that I think you would be happy to. If you would agree, after showing it to you, I think you'll love it.
Well, I'll tell you this: it better be good because I love collecting skulls. And
Volo does stop, sir. Volo does not renege on a promise. Allow me to present something, okay? Much more valuable than 100 gold coins that you will clearly spend over the course of the next few days. A he pulls a little tube out of his pocket. The deed to a remarkable property here in Waterdeep. One that you can all share, you will all have your names on. We'll need a magistrate to witness to transfer ownership, but I'll arrange a meeting with one, after you've inspected the estate and you've deemed it satisfactory. I'm happy to take you there now in this early, morning.
You were gonna give us a house?
I'm giving you a house.
Do we have to watch the presentation?
I said a timeshare. I don't do timeshare.
No presentation involved.
Can I insight check as to how remarkable this house actually is?
It's
To
just a short
get that
video.
insight
It's
check,
just a short
can
video.
you tell me what you're like?
I would look
Yeah,
at
you've seen
the
a
deed.
few. You look.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to look at you want to ask to look at the deed, maybe.
Look at the deed. I've been around Waterdeep, knowing the location, and looking at his reaction to what he actually is putting forth.
All right, give me your insight check as he hands over the deed willingly to you as your hand comes out, Eldricon.
And you get tickets
fuck.
to Universal Studios Florida.
Fucking 11.
Okay, I will say with that 11, as Eldricon looks over the deed, it looks like it's the deed to the Troll Skull Manor, a historic building in the North Ward of Waterdeep. It's been notarized, and to your knowledge, it appears very legitimate. So yeah, it looks good to you, Eldricon.
The Troll Skull Manor.
Yes.
I'm gonna immediately walk back to the bar and ask him. Do you know
Durham?
this place? The Troll Skull Manor?
Oh, I've been Waterdeep a long time. I know most places. Troll Skull Manor. Can't say I do, lass, but I know a Troll Skull Alley. And if it's Troll Skull Manor, it's probably on Troll Skull Alley. I do believe there used to be a good tavern there that I would frequent whenever I wasn't, sometimes you want to try a different place if you don't want to drink here and just get a different change of the crowd. Or maybe I used to go there back in the day when I wouldn't want to worry about something crawling out, have a drink. But yeah, I don't know about the manor, but it's definitely sounds familiar.
Thanks, buddy. And as she turns around, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. She's gonna go back and be like, that's my friend, and he knows everything here, and he doesn't know where this is. You better show us right now where this is. And I'm gonna say to Grom and Draconic to be intimidating, and Grom's gonna take a step forward in front of me.
Oh, okay. The dog growls. No intimidation check needed. Volo is clearly listen, I mean, okay, fine. I said I could take you all there to, are you all this way with everyone you meet? And he's kind of looking at Burr and asking,
We've had a tough night. Let's just leave it at that. If this is not real, you'll have all of us to deal with, including the bunny.
She's shaking her head like she's the worst of everybody.
Yeah.
Another arm flex, just super scared.
In Draconic, I'm gonna go easy, Burfoot.
Durham kind of says, Volo, come have a drink. Kind of raises his adventurous. My friends, you are looking at one of the most popular and upcoming authors in Waterdeep. The man is my friend, and I trust him. So please cut him a little slack. Or maybe this isn't the establishment for you going forward.
I really like the absinthe here.
Burfoot's gonna turn to Floon and ask Floon, who's now conscious, and we just saved his life. And I'm gonna tell him that because he's been unconscious this whole time. Remember, just so you know, we saved you. Is this a real place?
I appreciate you. I am indebted to you. I've never been to Volo. We don't go to Troll Skull Manor, but Volo kind of says, I recently purchased it. I was planning to do things with it, but I don't have the 100, so I'm going to give it to them.
How much did
Can I
you
do an
purchase
insight
for?
check on him? He just seems so bullshitty. With
Tempe
everything.
Yes,
slams,
you
Tempe slams his drink on the table and slaps Elric.
Oh, again.
It's so funny because this side of the table is a DM.
Oh,
They just
shit.
seem so
He
shitty
slams his
as
drink on the
adventurers.
table, doesn't say a word,
so
knocks
shitty.
on the table, and slaps Elric.
Damn
Like
it.
with each other, they're like, "I love you," and "I love you," and then with people, they're like, "We'll slit your throat." Like,
Yeah.
All of the people capable of
Very
like
tribal.
non-violent interaction are getting drunk on one side of the tavern, while the rest of the ones that are like stabby and violent are dealing with the market.
I'll just say to Tempe, you win.
Listen, I'm
You
sorry.
win.
If you're willing to work with me, if you would prefer 100 gold coins, I will gladly just, if you can wait a couple of weeks, I'll gladly give you that. I just thought giving someone a house might be a better gesture.
You say you purchased this, man. How much did you buy it for? What's like the going value? We resell it.
It's a good question. Let's see.
Tempe
Because
doesn't
it's
say
like if
anything.
you bought it for like 50 gold, then no, fuck you, give us our gold. If you
He
got
gives
this
it
for like
triumphant.
500,
Yeah,
make
market
it
value. Market
Yeah.
value.
I can't believe Elric tapped already. I'm upset about that. I can't
No,
believe
no,
he
and
tapped.
then Demetria's like, hold on 1 second, and then she chugs her drink and then goes back to the drinking.
No, but I already gave a heroic pose. It's okay. You don't. I already beat Elric. It's okay. You don't have. You can keep drinking for yourself.
Hey, just saying, beating me doesn't mean anything.
He tells me he bought it for close to 500 gold coins, but that it is a bit of a fixer-upper, and that's why. But the fact that you have restored his friend to him, and because he's a man of his word, and you seem like good. Well, seemed it earlier in the evening like good people. He's willing to just turn it over to you. So He seems to be quite frustrated. He was like, "I told you, you could see for your fucking self."
Hey, Demetrius
You're right.
Stands up. Demetrius stands up from the table. She like staggers for a second, like steadies herself on like Elric's shoulder. Elric's shoulder. All right, so let's all take a nice walk. Let's go check things out. Show us this house. Show us this deed.
Oh God!
gets
I hope this
first?
house is real, just so these drunk people can sleep.
Oh yeah.
And then maybe
Oh,
afterwards,
feeling
Floon, my buddy Floon, she like puts her hands on like his face. We ran into a buddy of yours named Rainer. Maybe we go visit him afterwards. How does that sound?
Tempe doesn't understand how she's so drunk. She's totally seen her drink more
I'm
than
at
that.
1 HP. I'm at 1 HP.
Oh, okay. It is.
Right,
Okay,
right,
it is a
right.
reason for it.
It's the
Rainer
blood
There's
loss.
a good reason.
Named
Robbie's
Rainer.
been very
Rainer.
quiet. What's Robbie up to? Is he just thinking? Is he just kind of to himself right now?
Ravi, I was gonna say Ravi probably like looks to Tempe, just quietly goes, "It would be nice to, live in a house again."
Oh.
I just kind of look to the side and I go, we should go. We will go with Demetria.
If you, as you head over, head through the streets of Waterdeep there in the early morning, as people are starting to, the birds are starting to chirp, merchants are starting to set up their stands, people are opening people are sweeping the front porch of their businesses.
Wherever the hangover street food is, Demetria is there in line.
You come to a place which I'm sharing this with you. You should see my screen, but you can all see this in the D&D campaign as you arrive at this establishment here. It does look a bit shabby. It's an old house. It's kind of dilapidated. Windows are kind of boarded up. But at the value of 100 gold coins, even if Volo's lying about what he purchased it's a house. But I'll turn it over. So if you guys want to take a further look at the layout as he like cracks the front door, and there's not very bit of the sun starts to pour in there. It's on this little quaint little alley, Troll Skull Alley, the street, and it's more of a street than an alley, but it's maybe called that way because the buildings are kind of stacked on each other, and they kind of close to a narrow point. but you can tell that you're in a part of the area where there are a number of different businesses around. You can hear the tinkering of a blacksmith, like maybe a block over. On your way there, you saw a herbalist, like, or an apothecary, like working on like putting some potions in the window. And so, yeah, this is could be, if you accept, your new base of operations, or a home, one of your homes. I'll leave it over to you to I'll just imagine. I don't have to roleplay, but he's kind of like, showing you around. And one thing I will say as he's showing you around, when he walked through the front door, is that this place clearly was like maybe partially either a manor at one time, but it also at one time has clearly been used as a tavern, because the opening space is a tap room, a huge tap room. It's kind of dusty. There's some old bottles of cobwebs of wine and ale. Maybe they're still good, maybe not. Maybe good, maybe shit. I don't know. And then he's just like kind of look around. I'll turn it over to you all. So, what do you think?
I have one thing to say. I want the attic.
Burfoot can't help but have like sparkly anime eyes right now. She's never lived in a house, and this looks like magical as hell to her. She's like actually stoked.
Waterdeep beginning to come alive outside around you, but yes, so Birdfoot is like, whoa, wow.
I want the room furthest away from everyone. Oh damn, that was some Scottish coming out there.
Oh, D&D accents are. It's fine. They're interviewing.
Yeah, they just hit.
Just come and go.
Alistair?
Right, that's exactly what I thought.
I'm running to the attic.
Elric doesn't look too impressed. He's kind of looking around and being like, yeah, there's quite a bit of work to be done here, I guess. I just kind of...
He rolls up his sleeves. He thinks he's supposed to clean this place up.
Right now, I sleep in the apothecary. So, house? Yes.
Yeah, just saying, I don't know. This place looks pretty run down.
Run down? I don't know. This place looks really cozy.
Is there like a broom, like an old school, like a fucking like straw strapped to a fucking stick somewhere? Like Tempe starts sweeping and shit. He just makes
Tempe like rolls up his sleeves.
He rolls up his sleeves. He starts like taking the boards off the windows and shit, you know?
So I guess we're gonna
like
take it.
Tony Danza and shit right now.
So what you see in front of you is Troll Skull Alley. This is you all being shown, and this is the manor. This is Troll Skull Manor here. As people are starting to feel, so you guys are kind of right inside the threshold of the doorway now, but this is all of our party members outside. And this is
like a
Volo.
nice area of town, like.
Oh, this is better than where I live.
It's like in between. It's not high. This is not high. Like this is not high end noble area of Waterdeep. It's in the, actually, if you all want to pull up your interactive, actually also put that interactive map in our link in our campaign. But Troll Skull Manor is in, let me pull it up really quick. I believe it's in the, I want to say it's in the Castle Ward.
Yeah, you said
the Waterdeep map. That's what you're talking about, right? The Waterdeep.
Yeah, the interactive Waterdeep. If you look up interactive Waterdeep map, it comes right up. Or if you go to our campaign page, there's a link to it in the.
I saved that interactive map last time because that's too cool. Burfoot's stoked. She's like not even caring if you guys are. She's like trying to find a way inside.
Put it this way, it's like middle of the road. It's.
Oh, it's in the North Ward.
It's not like, yeah, it's North Ward. So it's not this particular alley. It's not super prosperous, but it's also not extremely run down either.
Not a suburbs, but not the ghetto.
Exactly. Yep. So it's right there off of Cyrodiil Street and Delzorin, over in the North Ward. You can stroll in. You can kind of cool. You can get all the way down to where your whole little alley is, and it's interesting because it's right there on the corner of a place where when people come in, you notice if you look at it on the map, kind of leads to its own little multiple little block or section of of the city.
Oh
so.
yeah, if you click that white circle that's in the middle of those, in between Ceradon Street and Del Zoran, it says Troll Skull Alley.
Troll Skull. Yep.
My vote would be
Oh
yes.
yeah, the manor's there. That's awesome.
The
The red dot. I'm sorry to interrupt.
red dot. Mm-hmm.
Brittany and Burfoot are excited right now. Sorry.
100 gold for house. My vote, yes.
I vote yes.
I vote yes, and
I
so
look
does
up,
Brown.
call up from the attic window. I vote yes.
Burfoot's gonna point at you and be like, "Hey, how'd you get in there?" We're trying to find a way.
Demetria's a little she's into it, like she's poking around, peeking around at everything, but she's a little apprehensive about it because I don't think I want to have to talk to a magistrate to get my name on this deed. It doesn't sound like a good idea.
Would
Demetria's
you
happy
like
for
me to
everyone.
leave you off, just so I have certain of your friends in case if you ever break up, you may not get anything, but you're welcome to leave your name off.
Did we lose Sean?
Yeah, Sean had a power surge. He says.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared about those because I had internet was on and off last night too because of the rain and
Storming.
Yep. Hopefully we get
Malcolm,
him back.
is that lantern moving on the
Land.
street light?
Yeah, because it's probably because my table's kind of shaking, so it's probably
No,
like
but
moving.
that means they're like separate. That's so cool.
They're what separate? Yeah, they're separate. They're like
Oh my
they
God.
actually sit on there.
Malcolm
Love
and
it.
his collection of wonderful toys.
It's so awesome.
Bro,
Sorry,
that
I
table's
was seeing
shaking a
that.
lot
So
though.
cool.
That table's shaking a lot though. You gotta,
I gotta stop touching the tables because it's
oh
like,
my god.
Yeah.
So the red one is Troll Skull? Keith?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
First act of business, rename it. I'm not a fan of Troll Skull.
Name it whatever you wish. Volo, I would have definitely named it something magnificent, like Volo's, and he starts to go through different,
Yeah,
Volo's
okay,
place of wonder, wonders
said
for
you
guys
know
with
that.
rooms.
Volo's
said
guide
you know
to
that.
all of the world of forgotten realms. He said, by the way, when my book does come out, you should definitely all please buy a copy. That would help. It's Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Oh,
Design.
speaking of, pardon me, but what about this is a great house, but what about house and 1% royalties in perpetuity of your book?
I'm going to have to say, unfortunately, no.
Oh, you sly devil.
Yes, I keep something for myself in case I want to recoup what I'm losing here. You'll understand. Please, I hope you do. And look at this place; it's wonderful. You actually could just stay here. You could just be a house. He starts to kind of deflect. You could reopen the tavern. Tavern's a wonderful business idea. Maybe a restaurant. Could even be a good gambling hall if you consult with the right guilds here in the city. Or maybe an adventurers guild, taking a percentage of those adventurers that come through. I think you guys have a lot of options here and a lot of space at that.
Amon, this could be your clinic.
Burfoot's gonna ask Volo, I like this, but I'd like a free copy of your book. I don't want to pay for it. You lied, and you know you lied to us.
I did not lie. I just was going
You
to
were
pay you the
deceitful.
other 100.
You were withholding truths about what you had, so I think you should give us a copy of your book. Each of us.
Fair. Done. Deal. If we can wash our hands of it, you will all get a copy delivered within the next few weeks.
And then she'll put out her hand to shake it, but she'll say hardcover, not paperback.
Hard cover. And he shakes
rabbit paw.
rabbit paw. His little rabbit paw shakes.
Demetria is gonna kind of go over to Volo. You said his book's gonna come out in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down the pipeline. I don't know. Sneak peek. What do you know about creatures with tendrils situation going on?
Humanoid creatures, tendrils?
I not gonna lie, I did black out there pretty quick, but it did seem to have 2 legs and 2 arms, so
Yes,
Humanoid.
bald head, purple skin. Yes.
It looked like a squid face.
and it had a brain. I don't know if it was its brain because it like did its own thing at a certain point. Wait, I was unconscious of that. No, I didn't. It was holding it.
Holding
Yeah,
a brain.
and it ran around like a dog after one of our friends.
It does sound like a mind flayer.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Read about them.
Creatures of otherworldly creatures, very powerful psychic abilities. They definitely, in my book, I write about them. There are not here from Faerun, but since you're getting a free copy, I'll just let you read about it.
Most of us aren't familiar with the Mind Flayer, though, right?
Not that I'm like against reading on like a principle, but what do you say no about mind flayers? Do they like machines, war forged? Is there a reason why they might? Because I don't know if you notice counting heads, but we are short one.
Yes, the animated, the machination of a man.
Machina. His name was Machina, but yeah.
Oh, Machina. He's, yes. I apologize. I did not know he. I thought he was a Nimblewright for a second, but then again, Nimblewrights are made of wood, so that would make sense. He did look like metal, but I for a second thought maybe it was Nimblewright wearing metal. Understood. You lost your friend to this mind flayer, yes?
The Mind Flayer seemed to have a lot of interest in him towards the end, and then they both disappeared. We investigated where they disappeared, but we found nothing there.
Mind flayers usually take interest in those with a brain, which I hopefully don't offend anyone. I doubt your friend, I'm sure he lacked one.
He made a lot of jokes about not having like the juicy bits, so I don't think he did have one.
But that's what confuses us. He has no brain, but he's a warforged. What can a Mind Flayer even do with something like this?
Warforged. Don't quite really know much about that. Is that the company that made this Nimblewright machine that you talk of, or this M?
No, excuse me.
This
I read
Warforged?
about it in my research. It was there are a match. Demetria, how would you describe this?
Here's what I could tell you. If your friend perhaps had a soul or was able to make its own decisions, possibly, I'm just speculating, pure speculation, but maybe this Mind Flayer fancied it and wanted to get to those, to see if there were any juicy bits beyond the shell.
Demetria, I don't like this. Why?
Yeah, I don't.
I will say, if the Mind Flayer took your friend, it's probably best you count him, unfortunately. Offline or shut down.
We are not.
Scrap pile. Oh.
I mean, from what you're saying
Junkyard?
about this Mind Flayer, I think we should hope that he's offline, considering what else this thing might be doing to him. So these Mind Flayer things, right? It's down in the sewers. I like to assume that the sewers of Waterdeep are not fucking flooded with these things. They don't nest. Where it is, you say it's not from Faerun. What would it be doing here?
Well,
who imported it, right?
They are many of them came here from the astral plane long ago. Their world not quite as stable. Their kingdoms there, I assume, dismantled to some degree, and now many of these strong personalities live here, sometimes working with other humanoids. They tend to be quite evil and dastardly in nature, as they do feed on, they find the human brain to be quite exquisite.
It is. Sorry.
I believe at one time they are slavers. They're quite nasty. Unless you are prepared, you do not want to re-encounter this. It's almost far-fetched how to even imagine a mind flayer in the sewers of Waterdeep. Here, I'm trying to, but it is quite scary, and it is quite possible, I guess.
Are these mind flayers usually by themselves, or if there's one, are there more?
Depends. If it's just like a human. Where there's one human, there could easily be more, but sometimes you will find humans that will leave their settlements to go off and live where maybe there are more elves or more dwarves, to live in the woods like a druid. Maybe this mind flayer fancies the city for some reason. Maybe it has connections.
Elder Khan, you copied a picture on the pillar, yes?
Yes. Here, and then he pulls it out.
Can you take a look at this? Is this familiar?
Before I show you, how would Mind Flayer, you say?
Mm-hmm.
How would it gain access to these powers, these amazing powers?
Of your machine friend?
No.
I think if it was a human being, it would devour the brain.
It emitted
because it grabbed him and then it
emitted a force that leveled half of this group. I mean,
well, yeah, you don't really have to. Leveled is a strong word, man. Like,
no, more like knocked over.
They were partially. They were unconscious for a very short time.
You call that a short time?
Demetrius smacks Amna.
Was it gifted, these powers? Did it come by them through arcane means? Or would you know?
The powers, as I know of these creatures, are innate to them. That sounds like it's Mind Blast, where it was able to tap into your psyche and draw on you trying to fight with your mental fortitude, and when you failed, you suffered massive psychic damage.
Would I have felt that since I am kind of psionic?
I would believe so. Yes.
Yeah, okay. At that point, I would put the dots together. I'd be like, and I like to all of you. Just now, I'm not going to be talking, but I'm going to telepathically just talk to everybody in the room, going.
Can I have an insight check from everyone on Volo speaking? Here.
Oh, I forgot my dice.
Motherfucker, an 11.
Some of us are still making jokes.
You came prepared just to role play. You forgot your dice.
That's all we did. Yeah, dice. No one said anything about dice. No.
Love it.
I usually have it all in a bag, but I had to take it all apart this weekend. Oh, you hurt my feelings.
Like, damn.
This is the group
I drove like an hour and a half to be here. I made sure to bring my dice.
This is the group that doesn't roll a die until like an hour into the game.
Should be.
And you love us, and you love us.
I do.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
I rolled a 15.
19.
14.
So the 15 so far is Perfect.
Yeah, I think I heard someone say 19.
Ravi.
Yeah.
5 from
Ravi.
Jakarta.
So Ravi's kind of what from Jakarta?
A whopping 5.
5. Okay. So Ravi's listening to this, and you can tell that that Volo is quite charismatic, and he's able to kind of talk and go on and on. But you get the feeling that by looking at the man, while he might have a card up his sleeve or two, how could one man know so much about supposedly all of the monsters in all of the world of Faerun? And so you do question whether, when you do get this book, will everything be in it be factual? How much of it is Volo's hearsay? How much research did Volo do? And so just to know that, but that said, I don't question that Volo, you do get the feeling that he does come across as quite convincing in terms of a man of great amounts of knowledge. So just wanted to.
How would one seek these powers?
Sounds like you
Demetria hard
seems to go
side-eyed
fine
Eldricon,
and-
not even trying to hide it. Hard.
Yeah, I was about to be like, can I insight check Eldricon?
I'm gonna look at Eldricon and I'm gonna be like,
Look, too, that was
Eldricon, I was
weird.
born with my powers.
If you're inside checking, it has dropped any sort of facade. He is blindly searching for the answer of how to become that powerful.
Graceland vibes. Sorry. Hashtag Graceland vibes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my friend, but those kind of powers you're born with.
Well,
If hearing that being said and looking to Volo, does he have a...
let me. Why don't I say, I won't put it past if you're looking to have the powers of a mind flayer. One thing I've learned about this world is that if there is something a soul wants, if you're passionate, if there are ways, it might take a ritual. It may, maybe even consuming the brain of a mind flayer, perhaps. But
Sounds delicious.
Can I insight check his validity of this knowledge?
Yeah.
Or... Okay, that's a dirty 20.
he sounds like he's kind of bullshitting you right now. But
All
like,
right. Eldricon, like reading that, is going to drop all connection, turn around, and kind of maybe go to one of these dusty, rotten chairs and just sit down and say,
Actually, as Eldricon does that, you'll probably notice that Elric is kind of uninterested in this conversation. He's also sitting in one of the dusty chairs in the corner. And I think as they're talking about the Mind Flare, like he probably had some memory of his vision or nightmare. And he's just kind of sitting there with kind of his head in his hands, just looking pretty out of it.
Anyways, place to live. I vote yes. And then he opens up his flask and starts to sip.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to talk about that later. Not to like be the person who's not an intellectual asking a question about mind flayers here, but right, these things are humanoid. You say they're like humans. They have human vices, capricious, whatever. Do they hold grudges at all? Because like we were kind of like ready to go to town on this thing when it disappeared with our buddy. And so I don't exactly like the idea of setting down roots here with the sewers, like how many feet below us? If this thing is gonna like be pissed, you know, if that thing when not pissed took me out, I don't want to see it when it's pissed.
Waterdeep is a place to definitely find someone who may hold a grudge. I would assume that if this mind flayer you were not, able to hurt it or take much from it, then you are probably the least of its concerned, at least at this moment in time. A creature at that level, no offense, I just feel wouldn't have much use for, this lot. You guys are great. You guys are
You're saying that from an awfully far away. Why don't you come a little closer?
No.
Demetria, this creature had enough time to kill us all, but it walked away.
It walked away with Machina, and while it sounds like it's going to be pretty suicidal for us to go and try and get him back, I think it's pretty shitty of us to be here talking about buying a house while one of the guys who should reasonably have a share of the house is, I don't know, getting searched for juicy bits on a, table, wherever.
But we're not giving up, Demetria. This is just the start.
Did we kill the brain creature? We did, right?
You did.
Yeah, we did. Jameson kicked it like a
Dropped it
into a wall.
That's what I want to say to Volo and say, but we killed its best friend. Like dead serious.
That's why I'm not. Yeah, that's
What
why
can
I'm
you?
not
What
worried
was the
about
thing?
grudge thing.
It was a
Mind
brain.
flayer had a brain, a
brain, and it ran on the floor.
It was like a cat.
An
but
intellect.
it was obviously his best friend. Obviously,
It tried to attack one of our guys. But
most likely it was a
got
pet.
We're making a lot of assumptions about this guy.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe you should all take a rest. And
We should rethink this.
Figure out what you'd like to do next. We still need to get the deed to this figured out. That's going to take a couple of days. Take a few days. I can even go back. look in my notes, see if there's something else that I might be able to provide on this, a mind flayer. Remember that though I have a lot of wealth of knowledge on creatures, a mind flayer is a very intelligent creature. This isn't a run-of-the-mill monster in the woods. This character, this figure, is as cunning as you all are, and therefore it would be very hard for me to read his or her intentions just by telling you what they are and what they do.
I think that we should follow up on Eldra Khan's drawing. We should find out where that pillar took them. That's the only lead we have.
I like the idea of a long rest. I like the idea of doing that. I like the idea of catching up with your buddy Floon's buddy Rainer. So I think we maybe have the next couple of days cut out for us. Yeah.
And you fall asleep drunk.
Yeah. And Demetria at 1 HP, fucking drunk at 9 a.m.
And what
you're not at 1 HP. I healed everyone 12.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you're at 13.
13 HP, drunk at 9 a.m.
Oh,
the
the
life.
life.
I'm not healing you guys anymore.
Oh, the life of a thankless cleric.
Yeah. I forgot. Whoops, thanks, but I totally forgot.
So the next, I'm gonna take the.
Wait, I wanted to ask Volo one more thing before he leaves. Go to look, Mr. There's one more thing. You said you would tell me how to get to the House of the Moon.
I will. And Volo shares with you where the location is. But please go there, when you are ready. He shares with you that, the location kind of points to you. There's a ragging map of Waterdeep on the wall there in the Troll Skull Manor. And he'll share that it is in the, I want to say it's in the Sea Ward.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he goes, you have many things cut out for you. But I would say over the, let's actually get started. Let's get you settled in first. And before you guys head to Salune or do all these things that you have, I kind of smashed cut to you all kind of a quick montage of the next 3 days. In that time, the first thing that has to happen, since you all have to bear witness, unless someone decides they were not on the, you're not on the deed, Volo sets up a meeting with a tiefling magistrate named Kylene Silmerhelm. And there's a brief session that takes place in this courthouse in the Castle Ward at the High Sun. And, they witness, they transfer the deed, rendering you the new ownership and making you all official. And she also collects 25 gold total. So if you guys, as long as you guys have it, that you have to pay to be a new owner. And let me know if you guys don't have it. I think you do. You have it from at least the 100 that Volo gave you.
Hold on. Volo isn't paying for that shit.
No, Volo's not paying for that. It's kind of like when you buy a car.
Always cash.
We got to pay your taxes on it.
Pay your registration, you pay your taxes.
Always take the lump sum.
Demetria will, if Tempe or Ravi can't make the 25, Demetria will donate some gold to get them on the deed, but she will bow out of the deed.
I think I should have enough. Yeah, I have enough with the money we made.
I hate to do this, but wasn't somebody holding Machina's gold?
Demetria was holding Machina's gold. I do still have that. It's 10 gold. I still have his drink coin too.
that drink coin is gone. Let's face it. I'm sure you guys drank his drink coin.
It's what he would have wanted. It's what he would have wanted.
Yeah, 10 gold. Yeah.
So how much do we have to deducting Machina's gold? Bertha's shameless, okay?
I feel like Demetria would. I feel like Demetria wouldn't spend it though. I feel like Demetria would hold on to it for him though, because Demetria does want to get him back. So I feel like she would hold on to it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's all my gold.
We're just spending Jameson's gold. Like,
Bertha
I think Demetria would. I mean, Demetria has been like a shameless like thief in the past, but I think maybe she would try and sequester his 10 gold away so that she wouldn't spend it.
Plus, you have to remember when Machina was hired, he didn't do it for gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is about Demetria.
Like
And I don't think
picked
you
up
drank,
the gold
right?
and it was
So-
just like, I don't know what to do with this, and then handed it over. And it
So
wasn't
it's
until like you got the monocle, it was like, oh, gold can buy money, or gold can buy
Money can be
things.
used to buy goods and services.
It's 10 gold each, right?
25.
Oh, 25 from each of us.
No, it's just
Wait.
25 total.
25 total.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
No, just 25. Just 25
Okay, so
total.
how do we divide?
Whatever.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's patting down their pockets.
Yeah.
Times
I was
a
like,
lot.
man, they're really serious about this.
And
This party, man.
that was the money.
Who wants to pay it? Let's play nice for it.
It's like a buy go
That's
real
our
house.
tits.
That's 3.125 gold.
Yeah, it's literally 25 each. 25
I hand over
one.
4 gold to
Yeah.
Bertha.
Yeah, I'll hand over the 4 gold too.
Okay,
Perfect people to buy a house together. Really,
There's
it's so beautiful.
In the montage,
Very
they
LA.
argue and bicker there in the courthouse until there's a moment where the measure's like, no, just 25, like just one time, and then you see him like, oh, like, move
I
on.
can't wait for the arguments about wallpaper. I can't wait.
In the next scene, Dr. Amnon has gone back he returned to wherever your office is there in Waterdeep, and you notice there's a notice on the door saying rent is going up again. And you know, so something for Amnon to consider now that he has a place. Anything you would add to that scene there, Amnon?
Yeah, I think that at this point, Amnon kind of has this feeling that he's in over his head already, and I'm gonna be just get rid of all of my old things and just kind of just like move in with the into the manor.
The door in the hallway, you're like an upstairs little. You have like you basically like one of those like office space buildings. You're on the second floor, and you got like a room that you use as your like as your place of business. And the little door busts open. This little lady who's a little gnome lady, like jumps out with like pink hair, and she's like, "Amnon, you owe rent, and it's going up again. So figure it out."
Oh, I'm gonna figure it out
Times matter.
very soon.
I love her. I love her.
Time is money. Not a real doctor. You gotta go. So then, and like, so would you? So it sounds like you cut to you, kind of removing all your things and slowly like walking them into.
So yeah, basically, I'm just gonna look at her and just growl a little bit,
boxes.
and then I'm just gonna take a little necrotic spit and just flick it on her way, and then it just when it goes out, it just sounds like a scream, because it's like a little despair,
She like slams her door and it like splashes on the wood. Slow.
So then I'm gonna go in my office. I'm gonna just grab all the medical equipment I can find, everything that I can pack, everything that I feel like we can need. I also think that I would have Jack Arthur with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would be there just because like I just kind of walked in, saw that you just got a new house. Arthur's lost his fuck. He's like, he's still waiting for you to explain what the job is.
Okay. You guys can assume that in this downtime you explain it, and then explain it when we get off the montage, or you can take the time to explain it now if you feel like it's actually pertinent to.
No, I can only imagine that on the way of him and I walking there, I explained to him what happened with the beholder and the mind flayer and the brain and knocking and stuff. And then I'm talking about the pillar and all that. Anyway, so then and then him and I will just grab everything we can. I'm gonna write a little note, and it's gonna say, "If your rent, I'm out," and I'm gonna put it on the door, and I'm gonna leave with Jack Arthur.
Nice. And so as they head out, in our next scene, the party is everyone's kind of collectively moving in, deciding. You guys can take time to, eventually between now and next game, deciding. Like I know some people have already picked their rooms. We can end up making a diagram so we know where everyone is in the house. But yeah, as your official first day, we kind of find them all there in the tap room. Maybe considering some things like, do they want to? What is the new name of this place? Do they plan to actually open a business? And if so, will they begin that at some point? Or are these things all too? Is it too early to assume any of these things? Also, if so, will the tavern be something else? You also realize that outside you have a number of different neighbors. So at some point you might even want to explore your neighborhood and find out what businesses are around, but you don't have to. So just kind of like expanding as kind of showing you in shots, they realize they now kind of live in this part of town or have a new residence in this part of town. Is there anything else anyone wants to add to the whole lot of this? Maybe in these few days, anything else that you might have done that you would have done that's not worth doing, maybe in game or in role play?
I would have. Sorry, go ahead. I'll go after you.
Because it says on the diagram that there's a library and a study. Are there books already in the library when we move in?
It's pretty shabby. It looks like most of the books have been taken, but there's a few there, like there's of the couple of shelves that are there. I'd probably say it's 25% full of books, that are worth going through. Yeah, and many of them are pop, like stories, like their worlds of like kind of fiction, like
popular press.
Yeah, kind of their kind
Okay.
of Tom Sawyer kind of stuff, and fantasy books, and there's books on Waterdeep and basic information stuff like that. And so yeah, it would take you some time to go through.
I feel
Okay.
like once
A
Demetria
single
looks through,
signed copy of Volo's Guide to Monster with a small little framed picture of Volo on it, making a kissy face. Just like,
You'll all get a fresh
Signed.
copy as soon as they're there. So.
yeah.
I would start. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Because once Demetria looks and sees that it's just popular press in the library, she's gonna kind of dismiss it because she's looking. Now that we're kind of settled, Demetria's thinking that maybe it's about time she read about Bahamut a little. Got actually to know some facts about him, so I don't know.
She does find a book on multiple on the gods and different like religions and things like that, and then she finds one dusty set of like a version of like encyclopedias, and she starts to look through. There is actually short, like a couple pages on as many of the gods. There are so many, but there are some talk of this Bahamut in some of the books.
In the montages, the camera pans. She's like reading the one book one-handed while she's doing like pull-ups.
Love it. You all can gain 1 inspiration point from that if you don't already have one. And as we end there, I will say let's pick up on the 3rd day. It's morning now. Everyone's kind of tired from moving in and getting all their stuff together. But this is the first chance for the party to have, a group meeting about what to do next as a group. Or even if they do break up, what to do next separated. And there in the tap room, you do also realize that some of your, there's some of the liquors, at least the wine is still very good. And I'll turn it back over to you all.
Well, I think also during the 3-day period, something I would have done is approach Tempe if he's around and just kind of say to him, "Hey man, looks like you're pretty sturdy. You're a good fighter. Obviously more sturdy than I am, if the last 2 battles are any indication. I could use a sparring partner if you'd be interested. Could use some tips, honestly, and I really need to improve my form. So I don't know if you'd be interested, but would like to get a little stronger." I think he's eating right now, so I'm not sure if he's there, but
Tempe there.
that's something.
Tempe with a big slice of pizza halfway into his mouth.
Like, so I don't know. Maybe during those 3 days.
Maybe like do we want to actually
We would
start
do that.
this business? Because I think that might be a lot of work. We need to hire people.
I mean, I think the business at the moment would just be a clinic of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking would be a good idea. Amnon and Jakartha Clinic.
Unless one of y'all wants to be a secretary.
No.
The lounge.
And you're welcome to sit on it. This is literally day 3 of owning this place, right? So there's not a big.
Yeah, this is meta. This is meta.
Yeah. Well, I'll say that Amnon and Jack, we're talking about like what we can do. Really, I'm thinking of setting up a clinic for us. but yeah, we can set up a clinic. I'll be getting to know the potions person next door and what they have there, and then some other apothecary stuff, and then Other than that, we can just sit and I'm like, what do we do now?
I'll just step in, chime in, and say, I guess before we decide on any of that, there is one thing I need to do if any of you are interested in joining me, but I feel the calling. I really got to head out and go down to the South Ward to where my orphanage was, my old home, and I got to pick up something that I left over there. So I got to make that trip. If any of you want to join, you're more than welcome.
I can back you up on that if you need an extra set of hands. What about
be a fight?
But does Rav, where is that temple you wanted to go to?
It's you see like Ravi comes down. He was really gross like the past few days, but he's like finally showered, his clothes are clean. It's like, yeah, I need to go to the temple in the Sea Ward.
Okay, South Ward, Sea Ward.
We can split up if you guys want.
I'll go with the young man to the temple.
So you guys can either tackle these in order or go separately.
I mean, no offense, Elric. I'm sure you're a great guy. I'm kind of a little more into seeing.
Hey, no worries.
Here to the temple.
If it's on the way, I can make a stop there and head back down.
That's the thing. It's really not. I mean, we're pretty close.
So southern ward's like it's not like Sea Ward is like going west towards the ocean,
right?
And then south, you're like all the way down. So I mean, you could zigzag across and down, or you guys could just kind of split up and go at that, go that way. So
like knowing Elric, he'd probably just split up and go there.
Yeah, I think Demetria would definitely, if given the choice, would go with Ravi.
Okay. So how about everyone else? So I hear Demetria and Ravi are going, and Elric's going. Is the rest of the party
I'm gonna go with Ravi and Demetria.
Go with Elric.
Sorry, I was feeding animals. What's happening?
We're very wisely splitting the party.
Up
I'm going with Elric to his orphanage in the South Ward, South Ward, and then the Battle family so far has signed on to go see Ravi to Selune's temple.
I want to go to the temple.
In the dead of night, I am going to move the large stash of contraband to the house now. and hide it.
Demetria in a robe with like a midnight
contraband.
Moves something upstairs into his room.
It's a dead body.
Now as that will happen at night, Eldricon, since this is all happening here in the day, in this morning, are you headed with either party or?
Honestly, I think he would kind of keep to himself, read what's in the library, and try to. If anyone gets back, he'd probably try to gamble with them. He's an avid gambler, so that would be his deal.
Okay. So, is there anyone that I'm missing that I don't know what they're doing right now? Since we're all kind of splitting up a little bit. No? Okay. I think they've got the groups. And so the party splits. And if I think I'm right, Tempe.
You know what? If no one's going with Elric,
Amnon's coming.
Amnon's coming so far.
He'll rock with those two.
So right as they're leaving, they're about to close the door. Amnon's like looking through the old dusty books, and you realize like these books ain't shit. They're like, all right, come down. Nothing that would exude power that I'm sure he's looking for as he starts to realize what they
throws it on the ground.
It's just a public library. It's like
it's just like
special here. Yeah. It's
This
like
is all
4,700.
There's a choose your own adventure book. Yeah, like it's like he comes down and you all begin to head your separate ways. Now, let's see. I'll kind of do my own version of rolling to see who we start with.
And I missed the cleaning house montage. Damn it.
I don't think you guys have started. It sounds like it's the house is. I imagine that. Oh, and imagine like during that time, yeah, you guys have kind of cleaned a bit, but haven't like gone through. So as whenever you're ready to,
we haven't painted. We haven't decorated.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I want to be here for the arguing over paint colors because that really happens. And Travis Knight. Really...
Ecru, eggshell, no ecru, no eggshell.
Yeah. Whisper. That's what actually our wall color is. Whisper.
Elder Khan, did you have anything to drink this morning?
He has a flask of absinthe that he regularly does sip off of, but nothing. Does
he just swip it out of, or does he put it in a glass?
It's out of his particular flask.
Okay.
If he trusts the house he's in, he'll put it in a glass, but he doesn't trust the place yet.
Elder Khan, can I have a perception check?
Absolutely. An 8.
An 8. All right. And so Elder Khan rushes out of the house, and the party heads their separate ways.
I hate those moments when the game is about to give you something and you roll low.
Yeah.
Might come back later, but.
And the way he keeps saying split the party is suspicious.
Yeah. Well.
Because you never split the party.
True.
Yeah, Jakarta went to the temple. I don't think you mentioned that.
To the temple, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up first on with Elric and Amnon as they are arriving at the orphanage of St. Andrel in the Southern Ward. The place is a couple stories high. Kind of looks like an old building that, you know, the lady Taylene has done what she can to keep up. There is a front yard and a gate, and as you pass through, there are a few kids, different ages that you know Elric from being here. There's at any given time, there's usually somewhere between 30 to 50 kids that live here. And that they range in ages from, you know, anywhere from like 7 to, 18 roughly.
I might call out to one of them if I recognize him, maybe. Like, oh, hey, is that Garrick?
Can I have a perception check?
All right.
Both of us or just him?
Just him.
That is a natural 1 for 3.
Okay. So you don't see any kids in the yard that you would have noticed or recognized right now. Seem to be some of the newer, mostly younger kids, right, that you wouldn't have grown up with, or maybe some of the ones that when you do come here periodically that you've seen. So you kind of look through and you crack the front door, and there's a little bell going cling, and as you enter the front foyer, within a minute, she's on it, Lady Taylin kind of walks in. She's middle-aged, hair done up, bit salt and pepper. She has a mole on her left cheek, and when she kind of looks, always kind of looks concerned, like to see who's there, and she immediately, her countenance relaxes when she sees you. Elric, welcome.
Hey, Miss Taylin.
Hey, good to see you. Come in. I actually was just making tea. And as well as getting the kids their lunch ready, but I had just finished with that, so I'm going to take a break and have tea.
Or I bought some friends. It's my friend Dr. Amnon and Eldricon over here.
Good evening.
Good evening. You can see.
Is there anybody sick or injured today that I could maybe look at?
No, everyone's well.
Let it stay that way.
Okay. Yes. As she looks at Eldricon as this hood kind of passes, she kind of leans as though she's trying to look a little further to see what's under there, and you can even tell Eldricon, she kind of shudders for a second, kind of averts her gaze from you. Friends, she looks to Elric. Friends.
Yeah, they're a strange group, but they're a good group. No, absolutely. Anyone you bring here are friends of the orphanage. Absolutely. Oh, and hey, that reminds me, I brought you some, and I'll give her a pouch with some gold in it.
Oh, thank you. How much exactly?
I'll give 25 gold.
And almost, Eldricon and I imagine and Amnon would clearly recognize that she doesn't look very surprised to get, and that for for any low-level folks in Waterdeep, or to, someone handing over, you can see the weight of the gold. Maybe you don't know it's 25 in there, but you can tell he's giving her a decent amount, and she just kind of takes it behind like a counter and puts it away. And then in a box, you hear a little lock, and then she says, "Come, let's go into the study." She goes in, and then we kind of cut to where you all are sitting down. Now, I don't know, do you plan to talk to her with your friends out of earshot, or are they welcome here?
They're welcome, yeah. Won't hide anything. I'll just say,
So what brings you by?
Yeah.
I'm always happy to see your face. You look well.
Yeah, doing all right. I see you got a lot of new kids over here. Keep them busy, I guess.
Try to keep them off the streets and hopefully, get them a possible better future than what they've try to change the hand that they've been dealt.
Of course. Well, look, I think I left something here, maybe in storage somewhere. You might have remembered me using it as a kid. Little box that I packed away my violin.
Yes, well, and would you mind maybe helping me find it? We can go up. Well, and then she takes you up to kind of like the attic where they kind of have all these boxes. And as you start to look around, you start to pull boxes down. Can I have an investigation check?
Alrighty. Ooh, I got -1 to miss.
You get advantage since because you have some time.
All right. That's good. That's a 17 and a 3. 17, yeah.
And you pull down you find a box that looks familiar. You're like, oh, I think that's it. And you pull it down and you wrestle it open. The violin is gone, or there's no violin there. And you're like,
oh shit.
And you can see the space where it should be. And then we cut and we're back over to the other group that's walking up to this beautiful, quite magnificent building or structure. But I wouldn't even really call it a building. It is a temple. It is the House of the Moon. And it is one of the tallest temple structures in all of Waterdeep. I'll actually share an image of it behind me here. But as you arrive, you can hear kind of the ringing of slow kind of chimes inside. I imagine that Robbie gets a sense of reverence as well as anyone who might just behold just the grand nature of the structure, the golden, rooftops and those dome structures. And actually it's like 4 stories constructed of this like creamy gray stone. And these circular, large areas. Once you step inside these grand double doors that are intricately carved with the symbology and all of this of Selune and the moon and the goddess that she is. As you get inside this grand hall in front of you, where you can see priestesses moving back and forth, some doing meditation in these long white gowns that are trimmed in gold with the symbol of the moon on them. And there's these lights kind of floating around, almost like dancing lights, that quite a magical reflective quality to the ornamentation of the building that causes it to get kind of like bright and golden inside. And then there are skylights so that when the moon does show at night, even though it's bright in the day, it would cast this, probably be another spectacle to see in the evening there. It's a hall of extravagance. So they're in the main hall. What do you do, Robbie, as you start to, there are multiple personnel or priestesses there in the room?
Robbie's gonna walk over. She's just gonna find someone who's gonna be like, excuse me, pardon the interruption, but I was hoping I could speak to someone about this. And he pulls out his necklace.
Oh, that is. Yes. I know someone. Can you wait here?
Yeah, of course.
and maybe small talk between the party, if anything, as you wait. Otherwise, you kind of just try to take in the magnificence. Anything else you'll share from anyone but Rob?
What does Ravi look like? Does he look nervous?
His hands are so sweaty.
Demetria is going to try and exude as much like, she's an awkward, awful person most days anyway, but she's trying to put on a good show for Ravi, standing at his side, like giving him an approving nod as that lady walks away, like, yeah, good job, good interaction.
Dude, Tempe understands everything that's happening because I think he spent enough time with Ravi to understand to just shut the fuck up and like absorb that.
Ravi's gonna like smile like quickly at Demetria and then like look at Tempe with like that look that's gonna be like, if anything happens, I just need you to keep like people distracted so I can talk to the priestess or whoever like in private.
This is a much nicer temple than the one I was raised in.
And out walks this woman who she kind of glides. It's not magical. She's not floating, but she almost seems the way she moves because of where the gown is. She kind of glides across the floor. And her eyes are like a very piercing light green. Her hair red, but kind of done up and then braided all the way down with these little, almost look like little crystals or diamonds that are, ornaments that are in the hair. And then she has like this metal clasp that kind of, you can see pierces into her ears, but it's all one bar. And then there are like little shingles that kind of drape over her mouth, but you can still see her mouth under them, almost like beads, like white beads. Someone called. I hear you are you wanted to show me something.
Yes. I was wondering if we could, and kind of like leans in, it's like if we could speak in private.
Yes. I am Nanietha. I am the high priestess. I am the moon bathed. And you realize she's kind of saying her rank. We can step off aside. Water for any of your friends here, as the sun is bright this day.
I'm good. And I pull out a flask.
Features a batch refuse that and is like, yeah, I'll take some water. Trying to like step in front of Jakarta.
She looks to Ravi. She looks
like
to
Lady Galadriel crush ever. She's just starstruck.
Hey, I'm a cleric too. It's just I'm from a different church.
You're embarrassing my son.
May I ask that you consume no alcoholic beverages here in the temple? Yes?
He just caps and puts it away.
And she can kind of tell that she can tell by she says, thank you. And she kind of does this as politely as possible. As her and Ravi kind of walk through the hall by these grand pillars. And Ravi, is this a conversation you want to have off screen or?
No, we can do it in on stream.
Okay. Just want to know what so yes, she pretty much says, Ethana said that you had a necklace with crystals?
And he kind of like pulls it and takes it off, just presents it to her. I received these on my 15th birthday, my current birthday, last month.
Who gave them to you?
They came from the sky. I was in the Moonwood out in Silvery Moon. I'm from the Temple of the Silver Stars. They raised me. It's Talat. Sorry.
It's okay. Calm down. Take your time. She sits.
I was out there while they were doing their ritual, and these came down to me. This as well, and like he like holds out his rapier.
The rapier was given to you as well?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I must let you know, it doesn't happen often, but from time to time, we do have those like you who come bearing gifts that I suspect you believe are from Selune. Yes?
I think so. I hope so.
Most do. I don't want to get your hopes up. It happens. The moon, whether it's the moon goddess or these kind of gifts are granted sometimes, but they are not always. There's not always a grand story behind them. There's not always a purpose. You may not find what you're seeking. They may just end up being something beautiful to keep. But I am willing to look at them, spend some time with them in meditation to see what Selene tells me about them.
Okay.
Are you willing to let me hold both your rapier, or do you want me just to hold your necklace? Or either, please, I don't want to take them. I just, if you want answers, this is the way.
You can hold on to them both.
I will need to commune and watch them under the moonlight.
Mm.
You are welcome to stay. I do this alone. But while I watch, I will tell you this. This necklace, I imagine they're like teardrop kind of crystals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am getting something from them. I am getting a presence, and I do feel quite comfortable in your presence. And even before I do this, I can't help but feel like you might be able to help me out with something while I examine the crystals.
Anything.
Are you a worshiper of Selene?
Yeah, they raised me. Selene saved my life.
I would like to offer you. Would you join the church here in Waterdeep? Because I haven't seen your face, but not just join to come and commune. I am looking. The church, the House of the Moon, is looking for those to join our faction. That is, and she kind of explained that they're a subject. They're kind of like an offshoot of the. I'm literally forgetting the name of the faction. I'll bring it back around, so for the sake of time. But they're an offshoot of a larger faction that tries to keep kind of like peace and balance with like nature in the world. And so she's kind of like giving, and you're feeling kind of the same thing with her. Like it feels right. It feels like you've come to the right place. And so when she takes your necklace, she puts it in a bowl. And she pours like water into the bowl, and she lets it just sit there, and she sits it off to the side on the pedestal. And then she goes into a pouch and she goes, would your friends be wanting to join the church as well?
I can't speak for them. I don't know. They would have to make their own choice.
Well, I will just speak for you for now. And you've spoken for yourself. So she pulls out
I should before and can I still see the party, or are we like separate?
Yeah, like they're like down, like you can kind of see them talking and like sitting, but like the hall is so large, kind of like marble floors, that they can't hear anything that you and her are discussing.
Is there like a pillar or something that I could like potentially like position myself between them?
Yes.
Okay, I want to do that, and then I'm gonna shift into my werewolf form.
Wow. So as you do it, can I have an advantage stealth check? And can I have the party have a disadvantage perception check?
OMG, so excited.
22.
Wolves and animals.
You got a what? 22?
22.
Oh shit! Hold on, I got a call coming in.
And it's disadvantage because you guys aren't really paying attention, right? So
Big four. Yeah, Demetria's hella distracted.
Nat 20, but then because of disadvantage, nat 1.
Oh shit!
Wow. Robbie, what is your transformation?
Call that the big disadvantage. The big disadvantage.
What does your transformation look like?
I think it has kind of that like kind of, it looks like he's almost, it's kind of like he takes a step back into the shadow, but as he's crossing that threshold into the shadow, there's like a almost like a transition of like silvery kind of like stardust, and like once he steps fully into the shadow of the pillar, like he's in his full form.
Yeah, and the form is almost would you say like almost like still his normal features, but just more of a snout here, and then the nose, his ears have gotten larger, or
I think it's kind of like full on. Like you can't really tell him. Like he's still like humanoid.
Okay.
So like he can still like he has like his opposable thumbs and whatever. But like he essentially, for lack of a better term, looks like a furry. But cooler than that. Cooler.
Yeah,
than that.
cooler. So his jacket, still his clothes, none of his clothes ripped off of him.
Yeah, like his jacket which is normally kind of oversized on him, finally fits.
Yeah.
Normally.
And you notice that she doesn't like bat an eye. Her eyes kind of open, almost in surprise, more like a surprise, like, oh, that's what you are, than like, oh my gosh. And I was feeling that your lycanthropes are, as I'm sure you know, are welcome in the House of the Moon. Tell me, what made you feel the need to share?
Just I feel like I should have, if I guess I wanted to ask you know, kind of why things like this tend to happen, if there's a reason, because it's caused me a lot of like turmoil, and they always told me at the other temple that it was something to be, you know, proud of. It was a gift, but sometimes it's hard to feel that way when, you know, you step out into the streets and everyone sees you differently.
I understand. Gifts are sometimes heavy to bear, and they are still gifts. But why this happens to you, or why you are the way you are, is no different than why I am the way I am. Why my hair is red and yours is that dark. It is now the way people perceive you. That is their problem. We can only seek to change what we can. You bear no burden, like you said. You bear a gift, one that I find that your friends would, most, if they are friends, would not hate you for knowing.
In that moment, he has that flashback to that vision that he had of in the sewers.
You are no beast. You have full control of yourself. You are Ravi, and you are blessed. And she kind of comes in and like places her hands over him, very gently, not in a way, almost in a way, something like a, not quite motherly, but more so from like Arc Mother, very from her status, almost that she respects him and she cares. Ravi, I am going to take a look at these and see what else I can uncover for you. But what I was going to ask of you, if I may still ask it. And she goes on to share that there's a knight that she's been working with, Sir Andros Everdawn, and he's an old champion, but he has taken up this position to try to, he's been offered to help the city guard, and he's been watching the cemetery by night because there's been reports of animated skeletons leaving the city of the dead. Now, if you know anything about Waterdeep, which I think you're very new to, she doesn't really go into full, but anyone, the City of the Dead is like a section of, it's like the cemetery that is a section of the city. It is a mini city there that is just where, so mausoleums and large things. And so she asks for, if she needs to do this for the next night or so, maybe if you and your friends, looking at the way they can be, maybe would be willing to take up this job for the church to try to do some good and prevent animated skeletons, not just for the idea that these animated skeletons could cause harm to other people, but just like the idea that it is also dishonorable for them to be leaving the dead, and there's a fear that maybe necromancy is involved. Hopefully finding the source could, or at least finding more information on it, and maybe doing it for patrolling for 10 nights.
I have no problem with that. I'll ask my party if they want to do it with me, but I'll go out there, no problem.
And then she kind of allows Ravi to go over to share that information that you all just heard. We cut back over to the orphanage where Elric is. Elric, how are you feeling as this violin is not there?
Yeah, I imagine at the same time that Robbie was tearing up that you kind of see Elric also hunched over the empty violin case and just tears dropping into the case, sort of just muttering to himself, "I'm sorry, Mother. I'm such an idiot." Feeling really guilty about having lost the violin that is his mother's. I don't know, and Alticon might see that. Yeah, they might see that.
Amnon will lean down from behind me like,
"Is it not there?" says Lady Talon.
It's not here.
Who would take it?
Who would have taken this?
I don't know. Any of the kids come down here and
I can round them all up. I try to keep them. No one comes up here, but I'm happy to. I hope that our kids.
I think one of the kids might have tried to maybe sell it or something.
Going with it. Yes, we can take a look. Let's go down and talk.
Idiot. I'm such an idiot.
She starts kind of blowing a whistle, trying to get all the kids. Everyone downstairs now, outside. As you guys are like marching through the hall, she's she's banging on doors. And then as you guys are getting downstairs, where you start to hear commotion because you guys are marching through the hall to right next to the foyer or their study, and then you hear these kids going, "Oh, a paper bird!" And you hear and small in through the window, one of the open windows, right as you're still concerned, Elric, in comes fluttering this little paper bird, and it flutters directly over to you. And flutters like up at your chest level, causing you to almost naturally just kind of put your hands out, and it just drops into your hand, and almost origami starts to unfold. And as it does, uncrumpling itself, the bird has a message on it, and the message reads, "Raynar tells us you are a good bet. He's bought you tickets to the opera tonight at the at Ebony's Palace Theater in the Sea Ward. If you're interested."
Ebony's Palace.
Yes.
Nice.
They're franchised.
Yes, they are absolutely.
Nice.
If you are interested, meet Mert at the private box C. Formal attire is required for admittance. Now I know so this is all happening, and so in the background she's like, Talon almost didn't really see it. Your party saw it. You see her out there, and she's got like a little stick in her hand that she's kind of whacking around, and she's like going down the line. You can hear her talking to the kids, and you hear her like saying something about a violin. So she's on it trying to figure it out. But what do you guys do next?
I'll just say to her on the way out. I imagine it'll take some time. I'll just say, send me a message at the earliest. You hear anything? Thanks.
I
Thanks for
promise I
looking.
will. I'm so sorry. Elric.
I hope it's still around here somewhere.
We'll find it, my
She
friend.
embraces you and gives you a strong hug, and then she kind of and she. So far, you can tell she's a little frustrated. Then all the kids are like, "We know it. You didn't touch it. Not at all." And she's like, "I'm gonna get down to the bottom of this." And so, I'll give you guys a moment here as we kind of push in on Elric, and kind of almost if it was a screen, I imagine, kind of sidebar, bring them, we kind of swipe halfway through and we see both Elric and juxtaposed next to Ravi standing in their separate, him standing out front of the orphanage, Rafi standing there in the House of the Moon, their party at their sides. The intense look in their eyes, them taking in what they have learned and what's happening now. We'll crash to black, we'll take a 5-minute break. And the party can decide which of any of these threads they will follow up on when we come back. Seems like Elric has been invited by a group of some type that is involved with Raynar to the theater, and Ravi's been offered a job by the faction of the House of the Moon. That could either of these could come with benefits. Both could be accepted. But we'll could be accepted and then taken in order. But I'll let you guys decide how you guys tackle it. So, yeah. And actually, what we could say is, do you guys want to decide before we take our break? And then we can.
Can we still do a split party kind of situation?
Oh, so yeah. Do you guys want to? Because I imagine, so the parties
are the tickets for that night, or
they're actually for that night.
Mm-hmm.
But the other job for
it's
That's
every
10
night.
nights.
It's every night for the next 10 nights.
Ooh, okay.
So we can do them in either order.
We could maybe do one first and then continue the next or something.
Carther would rather fight skeletons personally.
Yeah,
so
Dimitri would probably also fight
Orcs.
skeletons, and Cheryl would love the meta of cutting between Fifth Element opera scene with the fighting.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That's
I'm sold. That's like my favorite movie.
right. God, I love that movie.
Also
So it's
for
possible
Dimitri,
to do both. It's just a matter of what order.
Could also do that.
question for Malcolm, because because Marduk is a god from ancient Babylonia, and in his mythology, he was the one that killed Tiamat and all her children, to then allow humanity to prosper on Earth. How would that have been rewritten with Tiamat being forgotten? / would Marduk just be another name for Bahamut, if that's how it would be in the D&D world?
In D&D lore, Marduk, you probably find a few people that in this lore, there is no, she's a fictional villain to Bahamut, and so Marduk.
It's kind of like he's Eastern Orthodox, Bahamut Catholic.
Yeah, more. That's a good way to put it, I'd say. And so the Marduk in here in Waterdeep, you're gonna have less people that definitely bring up that name within the story. But what you will find is that people speak of Bahamut and with much more that's a real entity, and then they kind of speak about Tiamat like she's folklore.
Yeah, for what I told
it's almost like she could be real, but no one's ever seen a Tiamat, so no one really completely believes the lore. It's almost like there's a god, but is the devil really real? I don't know about that.
I've never heard him fiddling, so
yeah.
I said because Marduk is a god of justice and war, and I just put he slayed an ancient goddess and her children to allow humanity to prosper. I didn't mention Tiamat was a dragon or Marduk being a dragon either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there are multiple gods and multiple lores.
Dimitri and Jakarta have been talking while Ravi was over there having his moment. Comparing note cards.
So Marduk is the human form of Bahamut.
That's what, so Marduk is from from the Mesopotamian culture. So there's not going to be many people in Waterdeep that kind of like that believe in the way you believe, but it's completely valid. There's probably a small collective of people that still do, believe in Marduk.
Yeah, like I said, like my character's from like the far north, so like where that would still be a thing.
Fair enough. Do you guys want to go to the theater this evening, or does we go to the theater and hear him out, and then after that go to the cemetery for the first night? What do you guys want to do?
I think a lot of us just want to fight. I'm kind of down to fight too. But
all right, so then
what do you guys want to do?
Hearing a safe bet, I'm interested, but that's just
interested in the opera.
Yeah, just hearing like the word safe bet and like a possible, I don't know, maybe connection. I mean, he doesn't even know about this undead thing, so he'd be going for it.
Do you have a formal version of the hood situation going on?
This is not formal?
I mean, like, right.
So why don't we imagine that the party has accepted both quests? They meet up. As they meet up there in kind of like high noon of the day, in like one of the little, areas in Waterdeep, somewhere in between out there, somewhere maybe in the castle ward, maybe talking over lunch. Everything has been kind of shared with everyone about, like, in terms of not everything, of course, like Robbie's not sharing the intimate conversation he had, but about maybe what was offered in terms of the jobs and what to do next, so that everyone is on the same page in terms of
what do you guys want to do?
Here's a question, because I'm like debating. I've been drinking. I'm debating with myself because with my criminal background, I have the criminal contacts, not perk, but ability where you have someone you can go to pretty reliably for information, because there's no like identifying information on that note that Elric has, right? Saying who exactly this is, just that they're buddies with Raynar.
It said there was a name in there, right? Or no?
Yeah, it says meet Mert.
And at the like he's the guy holding your tickets, but.
And Mert is actually going to meet him in the box. So the tickets will be at the box office. Mert, you'll actually going to meet in a box while the opera is going on. And
Dimitri
it is signed. It is signed by the seal of that anyone who, like Eldricon, who's been here long enough, Elric would know. It is a Harper seal on the.
Oh, the Harpers. That is kind of, forces of good. I don't know.
Oh, less eager now.
Right.
So what do we think?
Is it safe to say that we all know? Because I feel like, are we still divided?
Yeah, we all know about it.
Harpers are mostly, they are the faction you all know everything now. Yes, you all know both missions, but they are symbols of good. They have sales kind of roaming in operatives and spies in many different cities and civilizations, all places all across the land. And they seem to have kind of power and pull in pretty high places, but they work secretively.
I'll maybe ask Robbie. This seems like helping the church is pretty important to you, right?
Yeah, they're really helping me out.
So, do you want to just straight away get to that, or?
I mean, I'm gonna do that one way or another. I don't want to, make you guys pick and choose or anything, but that's I have to, because they're helping me out.
If it helps you, since it's 10 consecutive nights, and this Ambrose has been doing this already every night, he's been trying to find his leads. Like the cemetery has a longer, shelf life on its expiration for sure.
It expires in 10 days.
Yeah,
it's immediate.
I mean, if we can do that, if we can just start killing the skeletons tomorrow.
10 days is a long time.
It's 10 night. Every night you're going to be going in there. You're going to be looking. to see if you find anything.
Person's digging through her bag for her bow tie for Grom. She's ready for the theater.
Also, who knows? Maybe we'll figure out what's going on in shorter than 10 nights.
But she will ask Ravi and say, "Are you sure that we don't need to do that first? I know it's important to you."
I mean,
go ahead. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut anybody off. Yeah.
No, you're fine. He sighs. He doesn't know.
What I'm hearing is it sounds like since you're doing like you have to go to the city of dead at night, the opera's at night. You could stop by the opera, talk to Mert, figure out what's going there, and then head directly over to the city of the dead. But unless whatever Mert tells you is worth throwing all that out the window, but if not, then I'll kind of plan that you'll be going to the cemetery unless something changes.
I'm envisioning that like side quest prompt that X's out all the other side quests of the area.
That's exactly what I'm picturing.
I like what she put in the chat. We leave at intermission, okay, to go fuck some skeletons up.
I mean, because also the thing is, me, Meta, the player Cheryl, like Demetria would volunteer to skip because she doesn't really want to hang out with the Harpers. She's like, I could go watch this. I could go make buddies with this dude, but I'm like, I will end up getting swarmed by skeletons and dying.
We could do that. You guys could go. You guys want to separate and have a
would they, or would they like avoid you?
Maybe. We don't know. We don't know what kind of skeletons these are. They are, these reports.
A war player, I got protection from good and evil. I can solo these skeletons.
Our characters,
Arthur and Demetria go hang out with our new best buddy Andros.
Our characters don't know what's going to happen. All we think is we're going to an opera to talk to someone.
Yeah. I'm sure the opera doesn't go all night.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
let's all go to the opera.
It ends up being like a late night.
By the way, have we just gone streamline into this and like we didn't long rest? We just spent a whole.
No, we had 3 days.
You had 3 days.
Okay,
I need to fix that.
I long rested. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah. I don't know about the rest of
really wants to go hang out at a cemetery though.
All right. Well, I'm gonna I'll use the restroom real quick, and then we'll go back into it. Sweet.
All right.
I think I can now ask Malcolm if I can have my familiar out.
I can't use the bathroom. I took a phone call, so I used my bathroom break.
Oh, Sean, you missed it. I think I was trying to like talk to your character, and during those 3 days, I was trying to ask him if he wanted to spar with me to help me improve my form.
Yes,
I saw
100%.
that you were really sturdy. So I imagine we were like sparring a little bit during those 3 days.
I love it.
Awesome.
That's super good. You would notice that he wakes up super early in the morning and does what looks like yoga.
Oh.
But it's more like Tai Chi. You know how like you see old Asian people in the park?
Yeah.
I say Asian people because a lot of Asian people do like Tai Chi. Yeah, exactly. That exactly.
Yeah, the flow.
That's what he does every morning for like 2 or 3 hours. So he wakes up before everybody else to do just that.
Is it closer to yoga though? Because if that's true, that'd be closer to like Penik Silat, which is like an Indian martial art.
It's exactly like Salat. Yeah. It's
wow!
like
I didn't even know about that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
What he's doing are like Salat or Filipino like katas, like Filipino martial arts katas. That's what he does. Because those were all like dances and stuff,
Like if you see someone like have their legs crossed and then doing a handstand, stuff like that.
Is that more like capoeira kind of thing? Like capoeira a little bit?
No, capoeira is like dancing fight.
That's like dancing, right? That's like a little more on the dance side.
That's literal dancing.
Yeah. I heard that.
Like Penik Silat is like literally yoga poses, but as martial art. And it's like a very flexible and odd looking martial art. You know the
interesting. I never even knew.
You know what a krambit is? That knife?
No.
Yeah.
So it's that like very small knife with a tiny curve. That's used in Penik Silat. So like you do a weird downward angle and you're using it to like slice behind the tendons of the knee.
Oh,
that's what it's designed to do. And like hook into the eye. Like it's meant to be like very concealed and like just move in a very strange way to utilize it.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I can imagine Alex struggling to get up that early at first, but we'll try to kind of follow him along a little bit.
What are we talking about?
Our little sparring between Elric and Tempe.
And if you want to forward to Carter, he's got the more bruiser style because he just wields a giant halberd and just smashes shit.
Yeah.
What is this in the camp? Oh, it's your damn knee. I was like, what do you have on your desk, dude?
There is no desk. I'm here in my fucking spare bedroom, sitting on my mom's desk chair.
I love it.
The bed because
Nice.
visiting home, that's all you gotta do. I'm either standing when I would DM here, I would stand with my computer on my jewelry box there.
Oh my god. Is that chocolate?
No, it's just bread. It's the bread from
weird.
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh.
Is it the brown bread?
The brown bread. I like that.
I got
bread.
a loaf of that shit in the kitchen right now.
That's good.
So good. I need some carbohydrates. My mom has been like plying me with liquor. She's like, do you want a Cosmo? And I'm like, sure. Do you want another Cosmo? Sure.
So like 25 minutes ago, I looked at, you know, everybody's little thing, and I was like, wow, fucking Cheryl looks like she's falling asleep right now. Like you're fucking, you look a little, I'm just going to say you're a little faded tonight than usual. I'm just, you know, and I know because I'm always faded all the time. So look, see exactly.
Look how beautiful this is. Look at how cute this is.
That is super cute. What is that?
It's a Cosmo. Cosmopolitan.
Oh, in like a weird cognac glass, or is it a wine glass?
Because last time I had, not to be the only child living at home with her mother right now, but I had the martini glass earlier and I spilled a little, and so I've been devoted away from the martini glasses.
Got it. So that's the training wheels glass. I see. I see.
Very narrow top. Yeah.
That's the no spill. That's the sippy cup glass.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Sean,
I use a sippy cup glass all the time. That's the only thing I drink out of. So don't be upset about it.
Sean, what sort of martial arts experience do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
So I am, well, we'll say blue belt in BJJ. I did actually get a purple belt promotion, but I haven't practiced in probably 5 years. And then I took Sayak Kali, which is it's like Filipino martial arts, which is stick, but it also focuses on knife and empty hand for probably about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years or something like that.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
It's good times, man.
Yeah, my experience is just the Marine Corps. I'm a green belt in McMap. So it's funny, there's only 5 belts. It goes tan, gray, green, brown, black. So halfway through that, and then pretty much I've gone to different dojos and been an Uki. So I've just gotten my ass kicked a shitload.
That's rad, dude. I trained under a guy. He trained both Army Rangers, and I don't know if it was regular Marines or something else, but he was like he was this fucking old dude, man. And he was so mean, but he was a great trainer, man. But he trained a lot of like military dudes in like knife combat. He showed us a lot of weird shit that I would never like. You can't really use it because it's like all like dangerous shit, because that's who he was, right? He only trained like military guys, and we're just like, I don't know if we could practice this shit in the street, man. Like this is not
like
very
for
good.
McMap. Yeah, for McMap, one of the first moves you learn in tan belt is an eye gouge.
Yeah. It's all like extreme shit like that. Well, that's because that's what the military needs, right? Like average people don't need that shit. Although we learn it. We learned a weird it's called Dumag. It's like a Filipino ground fighting. It's hyper violent, man. Like it's very much like a weird like ground and pound style of like aggression. It's not fun to practice or learn, but I mean, I guess it's good to know. I don't know.
Just in case.
I mean, dude, all I do is drink and get fat now, so it doesn't matter anyway. All that training doesn't mean shit. So you know, like it's super cool. Like you'll
be drinking. You'll be out there on the streets drinking. Someone will call you fat, and you'll be able to kick his ass.
I mean, sure, yeah. I got to be honest. I prefer boxing training over any martial arts training, just because it's been more practical use over time. You know, boxing is all triangles and hand-to-hand stuff. It's very easily to use in a situation that goes sideways. Very,
Yeah, I personally don't care about fighting, and if someone's gonna fight me, I will go for the nuts and eyes.
You should 1000%. No, you totally should.
Rule number 1.
Dude, every time somebody's like, "Oh, I would never do that," I'm like, "You're dumb as shit, bro."
Oh
like,
yeah, you fight to fucking win. Someone wants to fight you.
100%, bro. I'm a grown man who will grab your nuts, and you will be really upset about it, because I'm not gonna throw punches if I don't have to. Fuck that.
If I can really deal with the fight the way I want, it's 500 yards away and I have a rifle.
It's gonna be a short fight.
Oh, here. Sean, you have not responded to the Discord. Where does Tempe want to room? Demetria is willing to split with him because she has a master on the second floor.
Yeah, he's in.
Okay, cool.
I didn't see that chat.
It's in the Discord.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Jakartha's not going to be living at that place. Like, he's staying there temporarily, but he has his own home up north with his wife and kid.
Tempe's going to be very timid and sleep in his clothes and be very gentlemanly.
Demetria's just like Demetria used to live in like the communal, like she used to be one
She's
of those
like half
goblins.
naked in the bed, just like laid out.
Yeah, she's like passed out. She's like, he like wakes up in the morning. She's like doing like push-ups on the floor next to the bed. Yeah, she used to be one of those little goblins who used to share the like underling barrack room with all of the other little underlings in the gang. Okay, so we've got Demetria Tempe. Who am I missing?
Just that scene from Batman Begins. Gets out of bed and just immediately drops into push-ups.
Yep. Got to keep that strength up. Ohan, do you want Amnon? I'm thinking Amnon can take the bedroom on the second floor next to Elric because you have that connecting hallway to the den where I think it would be a good place to put up your clinic on the second floor.
Oh, not bad idea.
Actually, concur.
I feel like a clinic should be on the first floor.
Well, because do we want to have it be? Do we ever think we're going to make
that might be a tavern?
Or do we want to make
something.
the whole first floor the clinic?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Make that the business. Interesting.
Because it'll be like, we can have like a secondary entrance. We can do what this is like the Aramis and me talking. If we do like a secondary entrance, it'll be like, they'll have like, oh yeah, on the second floor above the tavern is Amnon's clinic. So people can go up there, but then we also have the kind of bar room on the bottom. Slash fighting pit.
I like the idea of having both.
If Machina was here, his room would be the library because he doesn't need a bed or anything. So he would just be in the library reading books during his sentry rest.
Are you sure it's not going to be in the privy?
Girl 3 times in a row. Yeah, that's just my idea. That's what I was thinking, staring at this.
And there's a basement too, so that could be the fighting pit.
Because the basement. I'm thinking the basement for the ales and the wines is so small compared to the tap room. We still have foundation we can dig out and have a sunk pit and not interfere with the storage capacity at all.
We'll compete with the yawning portal. We'll build another portal.
No portals. They're just fighting.
Another hole.
Just fighting. Bare knuckle.
Jakartha will be sleeping in the cellar with the wine.
Is that a good idea? Should we?
I love wine.
Mark the bottles.
Jakartha's not that much of an alcoholic.
Just enough.
And now we're becoming like roommates, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. No takesy backsies.
I like
it. No takesy backsies. I don't remember. Brittany is probably not back, but I don't remember where Brittany said Burfoot wants to live.
Well, for her, it's 2. She has
the main master bedroom, of course. She'll sleep in like a corner little bed, and Grom will have the main master bed.
Sounds about right.
Because we only have, so far as rooms go, we only really have attic storage, the turret, which I guess is just going to be Eldricon's like.
Wait, no, Ravi's up there, right?
Ravi, there's an attic bedroom and an attic storage.
Oh, got it.
Part of me is like, do we need the attic storage? We have the cellar. We can convert it. We're not storing anything.
Yeah.
We don't have anything.
I don't know. Eldricon needs a stash.
That's in the turret. The stash.
Lex is pulling off clothes here, bro.
Say hot.
Are you drinking too?
No. Oh. Honestly, I don't know why. I'm like burning up.
I don't know, because it's getting kind of warm in here too. My arms, I know, are getting super red.
That's because you're drinking so much.
Come on, Coca-Cola number 4.
I gotta be almost done with this. This is like 750 milliliters, so this is like a regular sized bottle of booze. I gotta be honest, I'm still almost sober.
You're not drinking fast enough. Yeah,
well, you know what it was? I drank the whole entire fucking bottle of this earlier in the week, and I did it like in a fairly quick manner, and it fucking wrecked me, dude. Like I was good. Like I didn't feel fucked up or no. I wasn't doing anything stupid. But then the next day I woke up and I had a headache, and I was like, dude, I haven't had a headache in like 10 years from drinking. So it was definitely from drinking this shit too fast.
Yeah, it took me 2 months to finish one of those bottles. I just had like one glass.
2 months?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I don't drink a lot. Like I drink a small glass
that makes sense.
with a nice dinner when I have it.
In the little tiny glass you have.
Yeah, like it's a
smoking
small
jacket
little.
with
Yeah.
cravat.
Yeah. I'm actually. This is the end of the bottle right now, so this is the end of it. So, and I'm not slurring, so I think we're doing pretty good tonight.
The role of
close though. Look at
the
her.
team has been
Cheryl's
taken.
close. She's dancing already and shit. She's gonna be doing karaoke by the end of the night.
Oh yeah, we should do some karaoke.
Fantasy
karaoke.
Bro, hit that Backstreet Boys and Bon Jovi. I'm so in. Let's do it. All day.
Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. That's Demetria's. That's Demetria's.
I can't do bar songs at karaoke though. We can't do it. That's strictly for the bar.
Hempy's like, no, Demetria. Demetria's like stretching for the console, trying to select Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah, he's like, no, not that song.
Back, streets back. All right.
Tempy's just dancing.
Skull Alley.
All right.
Troll Skull Alley.
Man, this group is rallying. I feel like you guys are just itching for a fight, and I'm like, y'all, we've been rolling. I'm sorry.
We rolled like 5 die tonight. The entire night we rolled like 5 die.
Dude, me as a player really wants to fuck up some skeletons.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's go.
I want to not roll. If we can go without rolling any more dice for the rest of the session, I'd be okay with that. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, as long as I can level up.
Right.
Cast Protection of Faith and then Sanctuary. Just good luck hitting me. You got to make a wisdom check and then you got disadvantage skeletons.
Sanctuary is so boss.
Demetria also has Sanctuary. Yeah, Sanctuary and Shield of Faith. I think I'm right now.
Hey Malcolm, now that we've had those 3 days, can we say that I did my ritual?
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Is it the pseudo dragon?
No.
You guys with that Shield of Faith and Sanctuary, you're like bringing back Magnus. What's the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Protection from good and
You're gonna have like 25 AC again?
No spiritual weapon though. No spiritual weapon.
Yeah, it's good utility though. You got to use it.
I really wish last session or last campaign was great when there was like 17 spiritual weapons on the field.
I know he was Malcolm was running out of options.
Yeah, he's just constantly.
It was always so much fun to see him run out.
This one's a sheet. Okay, this one's a hammer. All right.
Malcolm was pulling shit out of his ass for sure.
Yeah,
he's like,
I miss Zuragosh, dude. Zuragosh really blocked that.
Katarina even has spiritual weapon.
Hey, Malcolm, real quick, just to like give you a heads up, Grom will stay summoned. I had to like reread this again. Until your Drake remains until it is reduced to 0 hit points, until you use this feature to summon the Drake again, or until you die.
Got it.
So he's like unique in that aspect. So like until it's reduced to I die, he dies, or I can because I can.
But when he dies, he doesn't die, right? So
no, it's like a familiar.
I'm not going. Just give me a touch it on right now. I'm not.
No sad Grom destiny.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's worthless if a monster, if the pet can't die, it's worthless to me.
As if killing the bard impresses us.
I can actually use. You can summon it once per long.
And I mean, game-wise, mechanically. I'm not gonna like go after it on the field because like what you go after a panic, like, oh my god, you could lose this, right? Like,
and I can summon it once per long rest, or I can use a spell slot to cast to bring it back.
I'm sure he will continue to come in great handy, and the party will love him. Will definitely add.
Eating rats.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still cute but brave. Whole thing.
I'm just imagining the scene with Machina being dragged away with now just Grom being dragged away.
Oh no.
That's sad.
If we are doing the opera thing, just one of the moments
Fancy clothes shopping montage.
Yeah, one of the moments before getting to that moment, I guess, Eldra Khan would take Elric aside and like just he wouldn't touch him or anything, but he'd just take him aside like in a corner and just be like, my apologies for listening in. You were apologizing to your mother when you lost that violin. Is she still living?
No, she's not around anymore.
He nods his head and kind of gets like short distance a little bit, but he looks to you with his like drow side, says, I too have lost my mother very early. My condolences to you.
I appreciate that. Sorry to hear that for you also.
That'll be it.
Is that related to the...
Oh, it is a very long story, one that requires much more drink.
All right. Well, next one's on me then.
When the time comes.
If you feel that, though I know a shopping montage to get ready for this opera sounds really cool, but depending on the money that you all have, can you guys, you guys should be able to afford something nice. Or there's always the option of having, Elric go in and talk to this Mert while you guys wait outside the opera. But you're shit.
You want me to just talk to him?
Eldercon wants to see some opera.
It's not whether we want you to just talk to him, but like, do you want to just talk to him, or do you want to have some backup? I mean,
why don't we all just enjoy the show? I mean, I don't need to be the guy there.
So here's the question for me: how much is that going to cost?
Oh, it's not free.
No, buying. It's free to go to the show, but he's talking about buying the clothes.
The clothes.
I would think a really nice outfit in Waterdeep. I mean, unless you're going crazy, I can't see what the average drink is. Probably a gold coin. So I mean, I average maybe like a gold coin would probably. I mean, if that for like a large, maybe pint for your whole table. So for like clothes, and then something kind of nice. I'm gonna say probably gonna range you somewhere between 6 and 10 gold.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, same.
I know that's probably even hefty, but it just depends. You might be able to find something cheaper, or you just might be able to just get by. Depends if you want like just a nice setup. I'd say between 3 and 5 gold. 10 is on the high end. Like you really want something fancy that's gonna make you look like it might help. You make you look. You want to dress like a noble. You want that Armani feel right when you go in there. So maybe you want to go that way. So this is I imagine we pick up back at Troll Skull Manor where everyone is like coming out of their room. Like, here's what I'll say. I'm going to skip the shopping scene, but what I will do is kind of montage it. And why don't you all tell me like maybe where you went looking, what you were looking for. You don't even tell me what you, and then based on what you tell me, you're going to give me a, it sounds weird. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm going to choose a performance because I want to see like about like how you put your outfit together, and then you'll reveal like kind of what you're wearing. And everybody doesn't have to do it, but if anybody wants to kind of like play the mini game, since you wanted a shopping montage, does anybody want to say where they would have probably like what they would have been looking for, or maybe what kind of outfit they're looking for, or I guess that kind of defeats the purpose of revealing it. We're playing it by ear right now, so just weave the story. We'll tell them the tale. We're having the conversation. What do you guys want to happen in this kind of montage?
So for Jakarthur, because he doesn't want to part with his armor at all, he's gonna buy some oils to like clean it and maintain it, and as well as some like gold leaf flakes that are like suspended in a clear oil to like kind of add some golden flakes into the interiors of the chainmail. So it's still armor, but it's better looking. So it could look like a costume, but it's not.
Nice. Okay, so he spent time cleaning up his armor. Okay, so he's gonna give me a performance check, and then so as we can kind of cut to like him kind of doing cleaning his armor and making it as presentable as possible. Anyone else that we see here as we kind of move through the scene?
Elder Khan will roll with black and red robes that can cover his hands completely when he chooses to, conceal his face really well. It's got to be a nice robe, I guess. But underneath it, he's going to go with like Dread Pirate Roberts garb, like black, like billowy shirt, a fucking extravagant belt, leather pants, and
wow.
Wow, Jesus.
Damn.
And I actually have a perception check from Elder Khan.
I rolled a 19 for my performance.
Okay, 19.
A 14.
Nice. Okay. So we'll keep going. And so right now, actually, instead of talking about where you found this stuff, we're just kind of showing, you guys are showing what you're kind of, when you guys are meeting in the tap room to go, what you're looking like. So that's what Elder Khan looks like. Anybody else?
I don't really know exactly what it looks like, but I imagine Elric's kind of just looking at the mirror, wearing this like kind of fancy button down, and he has like a flashback to his dad dressing him, and just kind of like shakes his head and sort of like opens it up and wears it a little bit informally, like in a way that you're not supposed to wear it.
Always a rebel for life.
Yeah.
You got like the bow tie undone.
Yeah, exactly. Undone. Yeah.
I would try to have, again, I would be very much the same. And since she wears like studded leather armor anyways, and her like big feet are always kind of exposed, but I would want to have like still be able to wear that, but kind of do like almost like the Greek goddess like wrap over a shoulder on top of it.
Okay.
And I'd want it to be like a dark like purple, like velvety thick fabric, and then I'd want like a matching bow tie for Grom.
Nice. So there's a little bow tie for Grom there. So far, no performance check needed from everything I've heard so far. I needed one from Jakar because he's wearing full armor. Everybody else looks good. I asked for Elder Khan to give me a perception check. Okay, perfect. Anybody else?
I think Demetria would want to get dressed up. I don't know whether you want me to hit the 5 or the 10, but I see Demetria coming down the stairs into the tap room in like this black, like halter top, tall collar, so it'll hide most of her neck tattoo if possible. Just the shield on her back, but she'll leave, you know, like the weapons and the chainmail aside for now. But coming down the stairs in this very like slinky black, sort of glittering evening gown with a high slit up one side, her cloven hooves, sort of stepping down the stairs, hair kind of not really done, but kind of pushed back and like, I don't need to do my hair kind of way, with her gold jewelry, her ear studs and her nose ring still in.
Nice. Yeah, if you went shopping, you all spent, I think Demetria definitely spent the 5 gold. So I'll say so far, everyone else, 3, Eldracon 5. Nothing for Jakar. You didn't spend any money, just spending time making you what you're wearing, and good, hoping that it will pass for formal decor when you get there. How about Amnon?
I really don't know what a Dragonborn would wear that's nice.
I mean, you could literally, it's Waterdeep, your Dragonborn could wear a full suit, you know. Here's the thing, in our last Waterdeep, you guys do know there are certain places that don't allow the armor and stuff. Hopefully this won't be that situation since you're going to meet a Harper. Maybe that's gonna, you know, maybe you're assuming that's gonna be different.
So is Rabbit?
But it's whatever you decide. I mean, actually, it's formal attire is probably what more like people the nightlife at the time, medieval. So, you know, suits, fine dresses, your best jewelry, if you have it. A fine robe could work. But the way, you know, Eldracon has definitely fancied himself up a bit under, so using a fine, you know, cloth is going to probably get by.
If Amnon is, you know, a doctor, he's got a doctorate, he could wear his academic dress. He could wear his gown and his hood if he has a your regalia. We're
all going to the opera then? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think we're all going together.
All right. So I would just Amnon would just wear like something heavy to cover everything. I figure he's just gonna be with a whole bunch of more humanoid. So it'll just be like a black like a black robe with a hood that covers all the way up over his horns, and then he'll dress with like a tie and like a nice shirt.
Okay, so he spent about 3 gold coins as well, and you all did some shopping in one of the districts, like one of the marketplaces that you came by. As everybody comes down, you all see each other, you're ready to go. Kind of flashback quickly that Eldricon, where you shopped, the gentleman only called himself the tailor. And whether you purchased anything or not in the flashback, kind of after talking with him, he did take you to a sliding room where all of the fine garments held weapon pockets, secret armor, secret weapon holds. A flashback to
the door to this guy's shop is hung beautifully.
So that guy, so Eldricon knows like where he is now, where he's located, somewhere in the castle ward. It was a little indiscreet shop that you walked into. The gentleman was very distinct about showing you everything there, and so he kind of put you together. And so you've got a couple extra, like, even though you don't have weapons like that, you could easily see the party being using him later on. Well, if anyone has anything else off, I didn't hear Ravi. Is Ravi on the? Did we lose Ravi? Did Ravi have? Wait, how did he come down?
Ravi is coming down just in his regular clothing.
Okay.
He
dressed pretty well.
He doesn't know. Well, thank you. But I was gonna say he doesn't.
At least his really... picture, if he's doing he's clearly washed. Hopefully he's washed it from the. Clearly he's washed it 3 days from the sewers. Got it all.
Pants are bleached and pressed. Like it's all very nicely done, but it's his usual stuff.
Yeah.
His jacket, it's like leather, but it's like that worn-in leather, so it looks really nice. Yeah.
So as we skip to you all arriving at the box office, you can hear the muffled. The show has kind of started inside. You can hear the opera going as you arrive at the ticket booth. They give you these nice fine golden tickets in that they kind of roll out of a parcel that would not be an envelope. They kind of roll them out and hand them to you all. And the name of the show is The Fall of Tiamat. And as they walk you through, you can see the gentleman on stage, like, in this grand, beautiful blue robe, singing, his face completely painted. As they take you up to the second floor, kind of someone trying to get you to your box. You notice that there are also kind of dancers in the background that are kind of moving these flamboyant ways, and they look like different heroes. And then there's this puppet kind of structure that looks like it's maybe being used like wind spells or using to make these 5 heads dance around. And the heads are like they're kind of like heavy, that are probably craned on wires, but then kind of these paper mache and intricate like necks, and each head of this dragon that's coming out of this huge circle in the middle of the stage with like fire and smoke shooting out. Each of them is like, being moved around. One of them a red dragon head, a white one, a blue one, a green one, a black one, and they're just kind of like moving around. And they're these dancers are like playing as like heroes fighting back. And then suddenly, boom, the music swells as one of the heroes is hit, and red ribbons spill out of their chest as they fall on the ground. Clutch, and the spellcaster dies. Little glitter flies out of their fingertips. And one of another like fighter cuts her under the chin, and the neck opens up, starts to shoot more red ribbons. And so as you sit there, they find you your seat. There's no one there. There's no Mert there. And so you guys are kind of just watching the show right now. As you're watching the show and waiting, is there anything you guys want to? What do you guys
checking out the other boxes? Just trying to scope who's in the other expensive boxes.
Eldricon's trying not to let the party see any of this, but he is enraptured by their performance and sheds one single tear.
The nobility of the spellcaster in death.
Nice.
And is going to touch the tear, like, what is this?
That's going to require a perception check.
Yeah, because he said he did it in secret. And so yeah, you're at Ebony's Palace, and it's a beautiful theater. Not from Cheryl, asking Cheryl for Aramis. What is the color? Like, what are the theaters? Is there any flair that you want to add to these theaters that are throughout the made? There's at least one now there's one in Baldur's Gate now. There's one in Water.
Shades of lavender and purple. He loved his purple. Yeah. Lavender, purple. A general sea theme. Probably as we came in by the box office, there's a big, very beautiful portrait of Ebony kind of hanging over like the main double doors to get into the theater.
Nice.
Ebony with her. What instrument did Ebony? Oh, Ebony! What instrument did Ebony play again?
Ebony.
Violin. I love it so much.
Violin. So it's like Ebony with her violin going. There's like kind of a carved, in the orchestra pit. It's all gilt and gold and carved, so it looks like she's there with her violin sitting at the head of the orchestra pit.
And awesome. So as they sit there, eventually a slender man seems to just appear. Like it was like the way, before any of you kind of perked up your perception, like suddenly he was there. He's standing there and dressed very fine, but you can tell that he's in full leathers. Probably because, if anything ever broke out, like it'd be better than not being unarmed at all. You can tell that he has kind of a metal like shoulder pads on one arm. And if anyone with a keen eye is probably sure that he's got, some kind of weaponry, daggers hidden underneath. But when he sees you, he kind of opens his jacket and you see like the Harper's badge on his shirt, like kind of a fluffy shirt. And he has a little wart on his face. Other than that's like the only like distinguishable feature. Other than his skin is a little rough, like he's seen like harsh sun and cold environments. Like it's very rugged. White hair, maybe 30. Mert, but to see the entire group made it as he reaches his hand out to Elric.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
We got your letter.
I'm glad you were able to heard many good things about you and your group and the group. Not specifically the reason we reached out to you is, well, that's up to us, but let's just say we've been watching you, Elric Taylor.
Hey.
Yeah. But that's not why we're here. If anything, we've been watching you. Don't get scared is what I'm saying. And he kind of goes on. He just kind of really.
Can I insight check him real quick?
Oh, kind of... absolutely. Give me an insight check just to see what you.
Go, or will you allow advantage? Allow me to help him.
Sure.
Advantage.
Did they take our weapons?
11.
They did. They do ask for your weapons at the front.
So cut to a scene of Jakarta removing 4 daggers, sword, longbow, quiver with arrows, halberd.
You take out the last
we left him behind at the weapons check desk, and by the time we're walking out, he'll be removing the last dart, and then he'll have to back it all up.
In his hair. Yeah, I got an 11.
Okay, and so what are you trying to find with this? As like, if he's lying,
is it like, is he saying it in a threatening way? Or...
No, not at all.
Okay,
more like you get the feeling like. I think what's concerning is that, I mean, yeah, you're being watched, but it seems like, for example, they seem to. It's kind of interesting that they sent the message directly to you.
Right.
You're not like the leader of the party. You're not the face of the party. So why, right? And It seems like from the way he said it, maybe they were watching you before the party. But he kind of trying to change the subject, but he doesn't seem, it's not threatening.
Okay.
And you do know, you grew up, so you know that the Harpers are, I'm sure any organization or faction.
Oh, right. They're
happens, right?
More neutral.
But they're very good for the most part. They're probably even I would say they're less than neutral. They're probably silent out of mostly good action and lawful conduct, right? So you can kind of take that as you will, but he doesn't seem to be threatening you in any way. But what he tells you is he pretty much goes on. He's after a little bit of talk, he's basically saying because you talked to Raynor about you, because of what you guys have done so far, and helping pretty much the saving Floon is like whatever, but you saved Raynor, and that's a big deal. So they're like, they want to offer you all the pin. He pulls out this box, and he wants to give you guys membership to the Harpers if you're willing to accept it. And if you're willing to accept it, he does let you know that you do. They'll have a mission for you that if you do accept this evening, he would expect you to accept your first mission tonight.
Someone's gonna have to wake Burfoot up because she's sleeping.
Just like this boring ass show. Like,
Demetria nudges Burfoot with her foot.
But
unless you're willing to explain to him what you guys' priorities are, and you guys can talk to him, but that's what.
So what are the perks?
The perks of the Harpers?
Yeah.
Elric?
Would I know this actually, or is this?
I think that
Elric would, right?
Elric would, but he could be questioning him to kind of put back on him. But
I'll pretend. Yeah.
So what I'll say is like being a part of the Harpers goes with if you guys have that pin, then you go in any city where you need Harper help. You could, if someone tells you like who the contact is, or if you have, because the thing is, there's so many spies. As long as you don't want to share it with anybody, and as long as you have those contacts, you have game mechanics wise. Being a part of the Harpers gives you renown. It gives you renown points where you can kind of a card you can pull in places where no one knows your name, right? You might be able to try to use or call ahead and have a Harper ready if you ever need to leave the city, or you have Harper help inside the city is going to help you a lot as well. When maybe you're hit a dead end, or maybe you want hired help on a mission, right? Or I'm thinking of those kind of things. I'm sure there's others.
Yeah.
You find yourself in a bad situation with the city guard or the city watch. You find yourself in jail, or maybe in court, about to be judged. All those things could probably come out if you're a Harper's member.
Mitra's like, I could end up in
jail. Burfoot might have shanked a guard in the neck. That touched her.
And you get no feeling that you are being forced into this. This is literally like a special invitation. Like he's opening this is like you guys have opened a door to another part of the city that an offering that most people will never get. And I will share that people from being in Waterdeep, you can join multiple factions. You are spreading yourselves. You are adding more resources to yourself, but you're also spreading yourselves between
at the same time, Malcolm.
Yeah.
So we don't have to do it exclusively to the Harpers.
Yes, you don't have to join. So someone could be a Lords of the Alliance and technically still be a Harpers. There's certain ones where you might.
Okay.
It might be a little contradictory.
It might be a little contradictory.
Guild and
like being a Zentrum, if they find out you joined the Harpers and then you're a Zentrum guild, there's going to be problems, right? Like
because of that, Demetria is going to look at this dude, and she's going to look at the tray of Harper pins, and she's going to ask him, like, so you say this is for all of us, and you say you've been watching us closely. How closely are we really talking?
Can you give me a charisma check advantaged? Just you're not doing persuasion, you're doing intimidation. It's just charisma to charisma.
Dimitri has tons of charisma though.
Oh yeah, charisma to
That's
charisma.
True.
That is plus. It's only a +2, so it's only a 15.
Okay. So you get the feeling that he's kind of reading you. And he starts to look at you now that you asked the question a little harder. He kind of leans in.
She reaches up to move her hair to one side so we can see the tattoos across her knuckles.
If you're worried that we are looking heavily at who you may be, everybody's got a backstory. Everyone's got something to hide. The Harpers aren't quite not quite interested in yours right now.
Mitra reaches forward and she takes a pen.
And you get a feeling that like you get a feeling that he doesn't know who you are, but that's what he's saying is he's like, I read that there's something that you don't want me to know, but I don't know who you are, at least right now. But maybe now we could look into that, but we don't need to. We don't need to.
Okay. Yeah, she'll take a pen. She could use some help if they ever end up in court, so she'll take a pen.
Well, I am curious what you know about me, but I am looking for a certain item, and I'm looking for a certain person. So maybe this will come in handy. This
You're
network of yours.
An item? Something lost?
Yes. You know about that? Okay, so I don't know everything.
No, we aren't. The Harpers are not God here in Waterdeep, but we try to be a collective. We like to think of ourselves, but no, we're just spies.
I'm looking for an
but
instrument.
Good ones. No, I can tell you where to buy a good one.
No, it's an heirloom of mine.
Oh, sentimental value. Everybody's got one of those.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but yes. Unfortunately, things get stolen in Waterdeep all the time. If it's gone, it's gone. You know? But I understand. But we don't have it.
Well, also people. So maybe your network could come in handy.
I will be your contact, and I could always provide you jobs if you going forward. I come here to do my business and to enjoy a good show a couple times a week. So you can always come by the box office if you need to speak with me. If you're willing to accept, listen, your entire party does not need to accept, but those who do accept, hopefully we'll be able to call on you in times of need, and you vice versa to us. Any takers before I close this fine box? This red felt on the inside, these beautiful golden pins.
Did Rob grab a pin?
I'll take one.
Yeah. Did anybody not take one?
I haven't taken one yet.
Who was refusing?
Okay.
And you refusing to take one does not get in the way of someone else taking one.
Ultrakon will just keep his distance. He won't approach. He won't say no, but he will stay away and not take one.
Yeah. Everyone doesn't need to be a Harper. And listen, you are of a group. If you, for a Harper mission, he looks to Elric and those who have a pen already. You may still take your friends to help us accomplish our goals. The strength in numbers, as always. We definitely work with those who are not our own often. So,
Burfoot's gonna ask him, so hypothetically, if I were to accidentally kill a guard, you guys would have my back? Is that what this pen means?
Is not quite lawful. It would, while we are not the Order of the Gauntlet, if you're the Order of the Gauntlet, they would turn you over to have you strung up. The Harpers would consider your case and why you killed the said guard, and if you had justification for killing said guard, then maybe you have a reason. If not, we would protect you in the case that you were self-defense and there was no other way out of it. Maybe the guard was corrupt.
She's just going to take it. She's literally going to interrupt him and be like, okay, she literally just took it as...
This is not a license to kill, little one.
Oh, it would be just...
All right.
He's like, it's not? Oh, sorry.
We'll certainly hope so.
That was amazing.
That was so fucking good, man.
And she's going to tell Grom and Draconic, like, this is a get out of jail free card. Like, so stoked.
Well, listen, you all seem good and nice, and you can keep the box. I actually have one over, and I like to watch the ending of this. I actually love it when the blue dragon lightnings that elf, and there it is, and the elf goes like flying up the sky. So funny. It's such some silly bullshit of a show, but I love it. Such a grand creature, this Tiamat. But But yes, first job is we've got a little old lady. It's very simple. She listen. We owe her. I really wouldn't even send you on such a silly job, but Uza Solazeth is an old woman who sells books out of a narrow little 3-story bookstore building in Sorn Street. She's over in the trades ward. She claims she trapped she has a haunting or a ghost that is destroying her shop and causing her issue. Listen, not normally something the Harpers would take on, but since you're new and we owe her a favor for some help she's lent us in the past, we figured we'd have it do. To be honest with me, I'll turn the other way if you don't go visit her tonight, but she has been sleeping with a friend's house. She's a widow, and she's terrified of going back in her bookshop because the specter is going to, she says it's going to eventually kill her. But at least she's not there. I can tell you where to find her when she's not, it's maybe late. Lately she's been staying out drinking. If you want to go see her tonight, she's probably hanging out on Salabar Street at Felzon's Folly. That's the tavern. But do try to take care of it as soon as possible if you are going to take our pins. Maybe visit her before the night's over.
How do we tell you when everything's complete? Do we come back and find you?
Come back tomorrow night. I'll be here.
You gonna tell me why you're watching me?
Absolutely not. That's not in my. That's not what I was. That's not what I came here for. And actually, I haven't been watching you, but my superiors told me to come meet you. Believe me, I don't really go out looking at people, but if your name came up, as all of the names did, but yours is where we sent the message, then you're a person of interest. Maybe you're just a good guy. Maybe you've done something great.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Showing your nobility through.
No, she's gonna lean a little bit. She'll be like, "So your superiors, they're interested in just him. A lot of us, are they players in the city? Interested adventurers?"
Mostly our organization is made up of retired adventurers, spies, assassins from time to time, all working together for the greater good of the humanoids here throughout Waterdeep and across the land. So,
is Raynar part of your collective, part of your group?
Raynar is a high noble, and he has used our services before. And I know this is all quite strange, but please know we are not some strange shadow organization. And for Raynar to reach out to you, you saved his life. And he is indebted. So your adventurers, he told us about you. Hey, he put in a good word. We're providing you some work. And we're seeing if you're good for the greater collective. Maybe
so this ghost business is a tryout of sorts?
Not a tryout. You'll never have to not be a Harper ever again, but unless you break laws or something that we would find dastardly.
Like killing a guard?
Like killing a guard unjustly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But this is more so a chance to find out if we should call on you again for bigger things.
Malcolm, did he give us his name?
Mert.
We're just
making sure that you saving Raynar wasn't a fluke. Let's make sure you're on the up and up.
Flashes back to us all going down with the mind sphere. Not a fluke. All right.
Amnon's gonna take.
I was trying to see if I can get any more information out of him.
And I'm going to ask you guys here. So, I'm here for it. Do you guys want to go another hour, or are you guys hitting the wall here?
I'm good, but up to you guys.
Oh, dude, another hour.
I gotta be up at like 5 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you guys?
5 a.m.
I know. On New Year's Eve, I thought maybe everybody had a little more time.
Push.
So.
I absolutely would, but
I do have to get up in the morning. Actually, got a lot of shit to do.
Gosh, boo across the board.
Unless you guys want to go without.
Yeah, this is like the one night I'd be able to do it.
Oh my
Or we
God.
could.
I'm here for it.
Here's what I could do. Here's what I could do. But the ramifications will go. The people who have to leave could count as splitting the party, and they can go help the little old lady.
Oh,
Or
Ravi,
vice
did you go?
versa.
So, little old lady.
And or vice versa. Like say the party that stays wants to go to the lady, or the party that stays wants to go to the cemetery.
Oh, right.
That.
I can do either.
I could do that, and
Probably the little old lady is less terrifying to have a split party for.
Potentially, who knows?
Well, whatever happens, it won't be a TPK.
There we go. Designated survivors. Mitra and Ravi.
That's the outlook right there. I love that. Shit.
Well, I'm down for whatever. I can do whatever.
So Ravi needs to go. Dimitri needs to go. So for as we start to. Any last things to share before and then I'll kind of wrap up where you guys' story ends here tonight, or anyone else that needs to go. Sounds like it's just those two, just Ravi and.
Fuck, you know what? No, if they're gonna bounce, then I'm gonna bounce. Just because I would go with them anyway.
Battle family.
Do you want to stay? Do you want to stay and watch then, or do you want to just actually bounce?
Yeah, Jakarta will go with them because he wants to go kill skeletons.
Skeletons.
Wait,
I'll stay in.
well, I don't know. Who are we going? Like, are we going to kill the skeletons? Because I set up for us to go to the cemetery. But if we're going to the old lady, I have that. Scenario is easy too.
He gave us like an optional old lady side quest.
Yeah, that's optional.
So we'll all do skeletons together eventually, but we can stay on. Who wants to stay on tonight and go help the little old lady with her ghost in her bookshop?
I mean, it even fits. Dimitri needs to go pick up her armor anyway. She left her armor back at the alley. So
that's on the way to the city of the dead.
What if you all, the ones that bail, are just like in the back of the party while we all go to kill some fucking skeletons?
I mean, you could do that too. I'll just play them in the back, but you won't be able to use them. You won't. I'm not gonna have anybody run them.
No lay on hands from the back of the party.
Yeah.
You've got Jakarta, a full-blown cleric now.
I'm down for whatever. I also don't want you guys to be left out. We've never done this before. You guys.
That's true. I am feeling the D&D
separation
right
anxiety.
now. I'm like,
it's
another hour. Let's do this.
I know. So I can do whatever. I mean, I can play again whenever Malcolm's available.
I mean, if you guys want, I mean, I feel kind of bad you guys didn't get any quests in. You guys have been role playing for 3 hours, but it's
as if
also
we don't like role playing.
Yeah, like I mean,
just
you guys
want to role play. Don't even.
I know that's fine. So I'm giving you a chance.
For
since I set up scenarios for the night, since I'm gonna break them all down. If anybody actually,
I'm so sorry. I understand.
I will literally just break it all down, and we will end here.
Let's break it all down because it sounds like we're all anxious about splitting. Let's break it down.
We've got a wall. We've got a wall. This is the trifecta.
You guys are so scared. It's like, no, if we go to the little lady's house, like, fair enough. So
the little old lady has a lich in her basement, and that's her problem.
Yeah.
And then I also know sometimes people want to go longer, so I was like, man, this could be a good chance for you guys because I'm down.
God, I wish.
Damn it.
It's like the old lady is that old beholder.
I put it out. That's like, there's no pressure. I put it out there.
Okay, we'll see you everybody tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, so that at midnight we all roll nat 20s for good luck.
That'd be
awesome.
cute.
So, as Mert leaves, I'll have you guys tell me what the kind of we're going to end here is we're kind of pushing on you guys watching the show. You know, are you guys just quiet? Are you guys talking to each other? Just a lot of you guys have maybe like share and close out. And what I'll also say is if any players want to take this moment to share with other players, I'll give you inspiration for connecting with another. Not inspiration. I'm trying to think what it is because everybody has an inspiration.
Leveling up.
Ooh, we're not,
you got an extra level.
Right there. Yeah, I'll just say it's a moment to it's just a moment to share any more about your character with it, or have any more connections before. If this was the end the last scene, what would you want to leave it on? What note do you want to leave this on?
Hey Malcolm, did you say that you're cool with me having the ritual done for my?
The ritual's done, so you have your end.
Okay, cool.
You would have done it in 1 hour of the many hours that you guys have had over the past 3 days.
Yeah, I just didn't hear your final word. I just wanted.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. You have.
I don't have any familiar on me right now. You guys don't see anything on it right now. And then I want to pull Eldrick Khan aside really quick, and I'm gonna tell him, I'm like, I made a new deal.
A new deal?
Yeah. And I'm gonna hold up my book, and my book is burned. And then and I'm gonna be like, I felt helpless when Dimitri went down, and I'm a warlock. My life is forfeit anyway. I made a new deal. And then on my shoulder, an imp is gonna appear.
I'm going to assume that absolves me from the responsibility associated with this book.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done. Well done. He slaps him on the shoulder.
Yeah. I'm gonna just throw the book on the ground, and I'm gonna be like, do you know how to break a deal with a deep devil?
I'm sorry. I would not know.
I'll just fade that conversation out from right there.
You want to learn how to fake a royal flush? We can go there, but...
That sounds more doable, actually. Let's go.
For Eldricon, before that moment that he took him aside, watching the pit and all the people playing instruments to go along with this beautiful opera, he just remembers, he remembers a memory from his childhood where he's staring at his draconic hand, looking at a lute across the room, and a little boy playing it, a little drow boy playing it, and staring at his hand. Another tear comes from his childhood eye, and that's his memory.
Nice.
Might see Elric just sort of at some points waving his hands in the air in a kind of a weird motion, and if you kind of pay attention, it looks like he's actually trying to like play an invisible violin and trying to like get the rhythm of some music in his mind, try to capture that music in his mind as he's sort of stringing this invisible instrument.
Demetria is focusing on the harper pin in her hand, kind of studying it. She almost seems kind of surprised at herself that she's now part of this do-gooding organization. And as she glances up at the stage at a point where those red ribbons are kind of spooling out from either Tiamat's head or someone on the stage, falling, her face kind of twists for a moment as she flashes back to her visions in under the mind blast from the mind flare. And then she goes back now kind of concerned that, this isn't enough. It's a start, but it still isn't enough to make up for what she's done. But it's a first step.
As Demetria's doing that, kind of Ravi kind of comes up behind her, just kind of like goes to like say something and like opens his mouth. Nothing comes out, but he just kind of like takes a second. He just kind of puts his hand down and just goes like, now's not the right time.
Carther, not paying attention, takes a sip from the wrong flask. Holy Walter.
Burfoot is kind of remembering, like, kind of flashing back to a memory when both her ears are upright and seeing, watching with fascination and remembering the fear of the Jabberwock that she had experienced, and then kind of like shaking her mind out of it, then starts to look at the Harper pin, kind of similar to Demetria, but is like, I am gonna kill the fuck out of that guard. That's it. She takes that fear from her memory and is like channeling it into rage of like, I'm just gonna kill the fuck out of it.
That guard is waking up in a cold sweat right now.
I realize my mic was on. I'm so sorry. That shit is too
We look
funny,
down
dude.
at the audience. That guard looks up and does the bunny hops.
Right?
Yeah. Wait, do we know the guard's name?
No.
That
dim light shines on the guard.
Yeah.
In the
That
audience.
fucking guy. Yeah. That fucking guy.
He's just that fucking guy.
TFG, it's him. He's there.
Oh fuck.
That's it. That's it.
And so as you all sit there in silence, you kind of push in on if you're looking at the ending of the opera, and strangely, you start to watch as this puppet starts to finish off the rest of the party. Like slowly but surely, they all begin to get devoured and eating, still in a play way. So all of the heroes, one by one, and you remember looking at the flyer, like they're supposed to prevail. It's the fall of Tiamat, and it's down to like one hero, and then she lops like the head, like they kind of do like a little fake flip, and the head rolls, a little paper head mache head rolls across the floor, and the heads are just kind of like kind of roar out, and it's quiet, and the audience doesn't clap, and you feel very strange there in that moment, and it's just quiet, the crickets, and you all, and then it's over. It was just a moment, as a vision, as you can see that the people are clapping, you can see that the heroes are bowing, you can see that the Tiamat is dead, but you didn't see that ending. And we'll crash to black and roll credits.
We should get our money back. This place.
That music change, Malcolm. Holy
that music change fucked me up.
Yeah,
I wish I could draw, because I have in my head the vision, right, of like the camera pulling slowly away from all of us in the box, like all of our different faces. Man.
Bro, when you said the head got lobbed off and the music hit right there, dude, I got the Hereditary scene, and when she fucking gets her head locked, dude, that was fucking nuts.
I watched too much horror. I watched too much unsettling horror.
I love it. I love it.
My thing.
I love the idea of, right, we're all like sitting there in confusion, like, is this the show, as everyone around us is like standing up and applauding?
Like, why? What's wrong with them?
Yeah. That's fucked up, man. I love
that. So fucked up.
Fuck.
Good game. Yeah, I wish we could. Yeah, I was definitely wish we could go longer, but yeah, this has been a great year with you all, and it's been good. And it's just, we're just getting started. Like, this is, you guys role play so much. I wonder, like, we could be in Waterdeep, like, for. It's like, how do I get to Tiamat? Because
he shows up in Waterdeep.
He just comes to hang out because he heard we're at the bar. So
I was trying to so early. I realized that when you guys get on something, you will not get off of it. Like the Mind Flayer was like, I was like, you guys are not gonna find this Mind Flayer right now.
No, we're gonna find that fucking Mind Flayer.
I'm saying there is a yes. You're definitely gonna find them. But I'm like, okay, they have their heart set on Mind Flayer side quest, or main mission. So finding that Mind Flayer is definitely the.
It's like after we kill Tiamat, we're like standing on her corpse. Suddenly, like the Mind Flayer pops out of an alley.
Cool. Where's the Mind Flayer at? Yeah.
Let's go.
Like Skyrim, where we do every single side quest before we.
Yeah.
I like your landmark suggestions though in the game. Like we're all gaming and RPing, and the bird, like the paper bird,
that was
or like the montage of us just getting out of the dungeon so that the quest moves forward. It's done really well.
Thanks, man. That's the goal, is to try to keep that. I mean, I was watching something the other day, and my job is not to tell a story or to be a storyteller, but to facilitate it. And you guys do a good job of telling your stories. I just have to get you to, keep moving you along so everybody's story gets told.
Absolutely.
For an hour.
Yeah, because you guys will just, don't get me wrong. I am not knocking you in any way. It is fantastic. If you're having a great time doing it, then I'm not knocking it. It doesn't take anything off I just know you guys can get this group can really get into like one person for like 2 hours and not break and be like, all right, y'all want to do something? Yeah, like okay,
how many times did we roll dice tonight?
Okay. No, like maybe like 6 or 7.
Maybe 6, right? 6 or 7.
If D&D and Beyond logged all my dice rolls as a DM tonight, I probably hit the button like twice. Yeah, so I mean, which is it's not bad at all. If anything, I think we got a lot of development here, which is really good. So
we've made it. This session was now it makes sense for all of us to keep going on adventures together. Because at the end of last one, it could have worked where we went
separate
ways.
Yeah. I was waiting. So tonight I was also waiting for, I know it's just a preliminary mission, but I was waiting for Eldritch Khan's tie-in mission to come back. Like, how do they bring that back? Do they say they're going to try to do it?
We're like, oh yeah, what's that ring?
Yeah. I knew that the the mind flayer would be on everyone's mind. I forgot how quickly people would turn to Volo to give them all the information on it.
We're so bad. We're so awful to NPCs. We are really.
I'll be honest. You guys are awful to NPCs. Like there is never. No one is ever given the benefit of the doubt. Like everyone is everyone is out to get you. You were with them.
It's
because the one time that we don't do it.
First.
Well, the guy says
literally in the last campaign, the one time that we didn't do that, we got fucked over.
Yeah, that's true. That's
probably gonna happen again because I'm gonna be like, you treated everybody so shitty up into here. This guy's the bad guy. He's gonna drop the hammer on him.
It's honestly
that is way too true. Yeah, we can't trust anyone, Matt. That's why we don't trust short rests either. You made it so we can't trust them.
People are talking shit to Flume. This guy, you guys walk in the room, this guy's getting his face kicked in by like a half orc with like a fiery fist.
Yeah, we not treat Volo
we killed him for him, and then we flicked him. We killed him.